See if that works. Oh.
Give it a go.
Okay.
All right.
Here we are. It does look slightly better. Not a lot.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything loaded faster.
It did load a little faster.
How about the audio? Does that look all right? No.
It's a little bit better than it was before.
Okay.
So it's better enough that I'm not super distracted by it to the point where I could probably run this campaign. But hello. Welcome to our Starfinder campaign. Hopefully we'll be able to actually give you an entire session today. We'll see. We're kind of moving around a whole bunch, but we'll see. Okay. And yes, Talon, that absolutely could be the issue. I do have updates paused, so we'll see. But if you are able to hear us and if you're able to see us, please let us know. And if there is issues in terms of lag or stutter or sound, also please let us know, because it takes us just a little bit to see. And it does look like we're still having a little bit of lag on my little thing, but it's much better than it was. So that is very nice. Hello, Ari. And sorry that you couldn't be here today. We are down one Ari today. Let me get into some announcements. Sorry about that. Okay. So, first of all, my name is Joe Treff. I'm your game master for the evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Dan, Olive, and Kara.
Hello.
This is a very special Driftmas. Before we get into the actual Starfinder, a couple of announcements that we have. First of all, you can use bits and channel points to support the channel in a number of different ways. Also, we have Albron RPG as our username on Instagram, on Twitter, on all the different social medias. It makes it much easier to see things like, oh, here we can test out and see if this is going to work. Oh, look at that. We went to our combat camera. So, yeah, like our ship down there. It's kind of hard. Oh, yeah, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Our ship right here, you can see in much greater detail over on Instagram, on our website, albronrpg.com, etc. And there will be more maps tonight. Do not worry. So, there are big updates to our website, albronrpg.com. Definitely go and check that out. There's a section up now for Sea of Ice, which is run by Kara.
Hell yeah.
Session 3 will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a horror high seas one-shot with a very interesting cast that is half very serious and half One Piece ripoff. So it's interesting.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah, I like it.
And then, after the fourth and final session in 2 weeks of Sea of Ice, we will be launching Campaign 2, which is a Feywild-themed Adventures in Albron D&D campaign that is titled Courts of Everest. This begins January 6th. It is going to see, unfortunately, Dan not playing. We're seeing Dan step away, but Kara will be joining us instead as Billy. But we'll get there in January. And then finally, for sound effects for the music, and I'm not sure how loud it is, so forgive me if it's super loud, but Sirenscape is a digital tool set that you can use to inject music, sound effects, things like that into your life. And with that, I can get us into our recap. Did I write a recap? Let's find out. I got so excited about what we're doing tonight. Yeah.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus.
Is Santa Claus
It was
still
an
a thing?
emotional roller coaster last time.
It was.
Now we're like,
Did write a recap.
Nice.
Mosaic Team 5. Last we played, you had a tense standoff with Emma, one of the children Bubs had grown up alongside in this Special Operations Research Group. Though you succeeded at impacting her emotionally, Bubs, a hasty shot from Shade broke the peace. Emma fled up the elevator as you gravity pistoled Gibbs' sneeze out of the air and across your face. A chase ensued as you followed Dr. Maldross and Emma to the spaceport. You bypass Shade's old boss, with Echo being able to spot him on the way and shouting out, allowing you all to swerve and go to different routes. You raced your ship up, you jumped the security fence. Many of you successfully, but one or two of you less so, alerting the USR security forces and causing a very large commotion at the spaceport.
Keeps so bad.
At this point, a chase ensued as you followed Dr. Maldross and Emma up and into space. At this point, Dr. Maldross opened a line of communication to you, warning you off. And as you decided not to heed his warning, unleashed the virus stored within Shade's subsystems, causing a surge that rebooted the entire ship. Shade and also nearly Echo. As you limped in the dark of space, waiting with shallow breath for the life support to kick back on, noises began. Cute metallic armadillo creatures began to fall from around the ship and move slowly towards the cargo compartment. Sensing malicious intent, your group destroyed many of these dronelets, not allowing the SAMSA drone to fully assemble and begin its murderous rampage. As the ship rebooted, Echo mourned the loss of yet another of those that she considered to be, or they considered to be friends. The VI known as the Director. As Echo explained this to Gibbs, the Director indicated that they were not a computer, but that the current Mosaic members were not eligible to know what the Director was. Echo, you asked the Director if Mosaic stood for anything, to which the Director responded, "I am unable to answer that question at this time." The Director also indicated that there was lasting systems damage. This could only be fixed with Mosaic proprietary parts. And the Director set a course at a stored repaired bay, located, oddly enough to you, Shade, within the drift itself. 2 hours now separate you and whatever the repair bay may be, and that is where we begin this evening. Give me just one moment here. So, you all now drift here in the drift. This dark space-like area, although all around the periphery, should you look out and through your viewports and out through the cockpit, you can see these beautiful but dark and very dangerous clouds that form columns and passageways and caverns in the space. The ship drifts. Is there anything that you wish to do before you reach your eventual destination?
Can I look outside the armory window and see if there's snow falling somehow in the drift?
Make a perception check.
Darkness.
With these cute little penguin dice. Okay, perception 22.
A 22?
Yep.
Spice, where on the ship are you right now?
I'm in the armory with Bubbles. I assume. Yeah. Because that's, I think, where we left off last episode. So, my little character is right here.
Okay.
And so I'm looking out the left-hand side.
No worries.
No, right-hand side of the ship.
You watch, and time ticks by, and we'll get back to that in just a moment.
Okay.
But for the first 20 or 30 minutes, nothing really. You just see these strange, almost luminescent, nebulous clouds that shift as you move by them.
Okay.
Is anybody else doing anything?
Bubs is going to look through the comm logs,
Okay.
and he's going to see the past ships that we had communicated with.
Mm-hmm.
And would he be able to tell the ship that Dr. Maldraw's on? I believe you said the name of
I
it.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
The shuttle has the name Bad Day.
Yeah. Okay. He's just going to log that into his mind, and he's going to put it into the group chat that we have, the one without Peep.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So you add and attach the transponder information. No problem.
Gibbs would like us to know that there is indeed snow, but it's just dandruff.
Oh, gross. Yes.
Gibbs isn't in the armory, but for the rest of you, unfortunately, there is a little bit of biological snow. But anybody else?
I probably would go and start trying to fix up whatever I could on the ship.
You've
Presumably
already done that, and you made a roll for it, and you fixed the parts that you can fix.
Oh, yeah, and then it's
The things that are
getting the
broken
actual
are all
stuff,
these little proprietary things that you need to fix, small things like transistors that don't fit standardized components.
Okay.
But you're on the way.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Echo would probably, ask the director if there was anything that they should look out for as far as, upgrading the security systems, so that something like this doesn't happen again.
The director says to you through the loudspeakers over the ship, Echo, at the location that we're going to, please be on the lookout for a drone that can produce parts needed. This will aid us in repairing the ship without making stops in the future.
What is the name of this drone, director?
Good question. I don't remember. The director tells you a name, and it's a great name. Give me a second here.
Jeff.
Says it with great enthusiasm.
Jeff 34725.
It's a Rocco. It's just a
This
Rocco
is-
android.
A Mosaic automaton for the production of parts. Designation 12.
Okay.
The drift passes by all of you. An hour ticks by. 10 more minutes, 20 more minutes. And as this clock in the cockpit reads about 20 minutes left, Spice, you looking out through the window, for a moment as you are moving and some of the running lights perhaps along the ship, for a second you almost swear that you see something fly by the ship.
Santa?
Little flake, a little non-Gibbs snow. But that can't be it. There is no water just floating around space, and it's certainly not in the drift. That would be wild.
That
But
would be
you look
wild.
out, and as you continue
Like
to
some
look,
sort of
you
Driftmas
begin to
miracle.
realize you see something else, and again, and they're like little sparks, almost like the things that drift along your eyes when you turn them, like those little floaters.
Yeah, floaties.
But
Yeah.
then
Floaties.
you recognize as you see one just right in front of you, these are tiny sparks. And
Like
they're
electrical
appearing
sparks?
very much like that. And they're appearing a few feet away from the ship. And you realize these are tiny bits of debris, microscopic, that are just vaporizing against your shield. But it looks like snow. And as it goes by, for a little bit, you can see almost this little kind of going across. And it does look a little bit like a drifting snowfall.
Director, where is this space debris coming from?
Spice, please look through the forward cockpit viewport.
Oh, that means I have to get up. Can't
Shade.
you just tell me?
As you see like the little light go off that indicates that the director is speaking to somebody somewhere, you begin to see these little sparks as well. They become much more obvious, no longer just these little here and there. You can almost see there is a field of debris in front of you. These are tiny fragments of ice, in fact. And you've seen things like this, having been a pilot for some time. And actually, I would say, Spice, you too, having flown a number of ships in your time. When you're near comets, which are typically these bodies formed with lots of ice to them,
Yeah.
you'll see this as you drive near their wake. But you don't see any comet flying through the drift here. And these are narrow passageways. It would be very difficult for that kind of an
For a
object to
comet to be,
exist.
yeah.
Yes. Now, as these tiny flashes of white and blue appear for the brief moments that your shields strike aside this, we'll call it cosmic snow, you move into more of them, and more, and the snow becomes stronger and stronger, and as you move through the drift, you begin to lose sight of the edges of the dangerous cosmic clouds that surround the lanes of the drift.
You still got the radar going?
Luckily, this does not interfere with your sensors.
Cool.
And
Nice.
so it's easy enough to stay on course. But visibility continues to drop until Shade, even with your Android eyes, all those that you look out, all that you can see is just sparks. Go ahead and make a perception check, Shade. Your sensors begin to beep, and you recognize that there is something large now looming in front of you, several hundred meters away.
Perception 23.
There are places, even though it's almost like a blanket of white at this point, where something else seems to be just outlined. Splotches of other colors, perhaps. They seem random, but also have some pattern that's hard to discern. They don't seem to be particularly straight either. They form almost jagged lines.
Fractal Santa? Is that you?
What was that?
Fractal Santa.
I also heard rectal Santa.
That's what I heard too. I was like, damn.
Oh, I thought you said fractal
Yeah, I
Santa.
said fractal.
Yeah, I heard rectal.
You said rectal.
What?
I heard rectal
That's what
Santa.
Wow, that is not where
We're
my
on
mind
different
is.
wavelengths. Oh, wow.
Jesus, you guys.
All at once,
It's
Shade,
Driftmas.
the sparks bounce away from your screen. And in front of you, in a murkily lit cavern in this drift space, there are several tunnels that you can see in this cavern as well that lead off, almost like this is a place where many
Like a
pathways
port.
converge. You can see there is a space station. And specifically in front of you, a massive landing platform for a spacecraft. Currently empty, And over top it, you can see a huge billboard with only one of its original 8 letters remaining, or 8 lights, remaining. But it illuminates the faded letters well enough. And it reads, Pepco Station number 282. And beneath that, 24-hour vending machines, bathrooms, maintenance, fuel. And then beneath that, likely more signage that is worn away with time. You see elements of wires that still were attached at one point, but now whatever that was attached to, gone. There is a walkway that leads to a double-door airlock entrance, and as you draw closer still, you can see that there is a cloth banner hung over the door, though it is long since frozen and frosted over, and certainly here in this spaceport appeared at one point to maybe be attached to some element of a comet. Here, it snows, with all the little elements of ice just drifting around the one source of gravity, the space station. It's like a constant, slow orbiting of snow. What would you all like to do?
We're just on approach to the
Hey, I have to go to the bathroom.
It stops at a point basically where now Shade has to manually guide it down.
Can
Can
we stop at Pepco? That place looks fucking sick.
This is the destination that we had in the GPS?
As you feel the momentum just die
UPS.
and it returns to manual controls, that clock hits 0.
Okay. We have restrooms on the ship.
You didn't catch my drift.
This is... We're landing.
Laughs to herself.
Shade's just gonna... can Shade hail the station to request docking
You certainly
for
can.
repairs?
You open up your communication
if
channel
there's-
and you wait for somebody to pick up, and it doesn't even connect to anything. There is dull power in this station, but
like a ghost
nobody
town out
seems
here.
home.
That's strange. But
Yeah.
it's also, it looks like it may have been abandoned, right?
Make a sense motive check.
Bubs, having seen Spice leave the armory, is going to get dressed.
Sense
and,
motive?
I'm imagining Bubs putting the whole outfit that you're wearing on right now and just be like, all right, we got to go on a mission.
With the little reindeer
Yeah.
ears.
Sense motive is a 1 plus 2.
Oh, bro,
3.
yikes.
Well, you kind of glance up at your galactic clock sitting there on the dashboard, and it's 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, maybe it's just closed right now. Hard to tell.
I mean, I think I kind of have to emergency land, right? I mean, not emergency, but
You can just land. There's nothing else on this. You can see here and there a few
if it's-
crates with the tops
yeah,
open,
I think I
frozen
would
onto
just
the
land
platform.
it. It seems like it's not very frequented at the very least, so just gonna land.
No problem.
As he's putting in the controls to engage landing, Bubs is gonna walk into the cockpit. Oh, what's going on, guys? What's happening?
We're landing.
This is it. This is where we get our ship fixed at this dusty, snowy little wonderland down here.
Oh, we're here already?
We made it, babe.
Can I do a background search on Pepco?
Yeah, go ahead and make a cultures check.
Can I do a perception check out the window?
Yeah, you absolutely can, Bubs.
Nice, that's better.
Is that one?
It was a far dice.
That
18.
is a 19.
Okay.
Is it recalling any hotshot pilots or starship models?
Pepco is a Solari-based gas station company. They are pretty minor in terms of stuff, but they once, during the Great Exploration where Jacinto is finally getting people out and into the stars, Pepco is one of the groups that, along with some of the original way stations, created points to allow humanity to continue to expand. Pepco, once drift travel became enabled, really kind of fell out of style. You didn't need to refuel nearly as often, and so many of their stations closed down. But they still do exist. It's still a brand.
Okay.
Bubs, as you look out the viewport, you see something familiar to you underneath what looks like maybe a frozen banner. But through the crystals of ice that hang down like icicles, you see, almost unmistakable to you, these jagged lights, strands of strings, multicolored, that have been hung across and then frozen. The lights in a few places still shine. You can see like a red and a little flickering green. These are Christmas lights.
Yay! Cute.
Do I have any idea what those represent?
Yeah, I would say at your time, and this is based off real experience, but at your time in the
Prime Station.
yeah, at your time at Prime Station, there were not a lot of films available to you, and so the films that you had, you watched again and again and again.
Yeah.
And Christmas films, one of the most donated films. So you've seen a lot of Christmas films. Yeah, I would say you know Christmas lights.
At this moment, Bubs is like gonna put like his hand on like Shade who's sitting and like Spice who's like next to him and go, "Oh guys, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is?"
No, what?
Pepco
What?
station.
No, it's something more magical than that. It's one of those, you know, those from those old movies. You guys never seen those?
A
What
Pepco
the fuck are you
station.
talking about?
You know, those movies where people believe and they all come together and they all have, you know, I think the name Steele used to tell me because we used to watch the movies in his like little like small room together. I think it's called Driftmas or Christmas. I'm trying to remember.
And at this moment, Shade, you set the ship down onto this landing pad, nice and gentle, but still small vibration through. And that snow, the ice that has covered this banner, suddenly falls off. And you could see it says Merry Driftmas.
Ah, cute!
Oh yeah, right there. Do you see
Driftmas?
it? Do you see it? I'm telling you guys. This is what I'm talking about. It's like one of these holidays where like you look out into the stars and you get this pioneer spirit and like everyone around you like kind of encourage you to have the pioneering spirit and you encourage them and you like all want to go out into the unknown together.
Echo enters the cockpit at this point, hearing like all of the commotion.
Yeah.
Are we under attack?
No, we're
Like Driftmas cheer!
Yay!
Yay! Do you know anything about Driftmas, Echo?
I don't, but judging by your expressions, it is a good thing.
Can I do a calm search of Driftmas?
Absolutely. And I would
Just
say,
like all
without
these
even a search, you kind of open up your exocortex, which is usually used for like hacking military grade equipment, and you key it to learn the meaning of Christmas. And
Oh
it goes
my
off.
God.
You see, there's a moment where things flash by. You see trees and green people and tiny little elves and a fat man. And for some reason, you see a guy named Will Ferrell in a green outfit. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. And it's just across.
The
And
magic of Will Ferrell endures.
Yeah.
you get a rough idea as to what
submerged
Christmas
eat.
is about.
Spaghetti with syrup.
Oh, gross.
That's the only thing that Shade says after
Is
learning
that the
all
meaning
of
of
that.
Driftmas?
I love sugar so much. Do you think there's candy on this station? We should go find the meaning of Driftmas on this Pepco station. Because I don't really know what Driftmas is. I don't access the infosphere like you guys. I can't just roll my eyes in the back
At
of
this
my head.
point, the overhead goes on, and the director says, Mosaic Team 5, we've arrived at our destination. Aboard this station, there is a drone that can assemble the parts needed to repair me. Please retrieve this drone.
On it.
Getting up and doing
Aye, aye,
that.
Captain.
No worries. You get up, you move over to the cargo bay, getting ready to disembark. You are going to have to walk out into space briefly. You can see there is the door for an airlock, but just so the non-androids know.
Spice
For those of you
suits
who need
up.
to breathe. Okay, you see it up.
Put on like this pink puffy jacket because it's cold out over top of her, environmental suit.
Amazing. Over top of the environmental
Yes.
suit, so it isn't helpful. I love
No, it's purely aesthetic.
that. Nice.
South Face. Not a sponsor.
I'm imagining you in like the actual NASA astronaut costume, but just a pink puffy jacket.
Yeah, over
I know
top.
that's not what it is, but I love
My
that
like
image.
arms can't settle all the way down.
Yeah.
It's Mexico Goose.
So,
Bubs is going to just start freaking out. He's gonna run into the room and he's gonna go and probably find like a little small box that he has
Okay.
in his room.
no problem.
In that he has like a bunch of like knickknacks and things that he's collected, and like some things, and he's gonna start making some gifts.
Okay.
One of the items he has
and I'm gonna describe this as we go through the game. It's just he's like a couple old beer cans that they're cut off the top of.
Okay, so for now, in a very Oakfeld-like fashion,
Yes.
we'll say that you've gathered the supplies that you need, and as you're walking through, when you think about the things that you're making, let me know.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. So Bubs, everybody gets ready, and then Bubs comes back with like a garbage bag of stuff.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Some of the stuff is probably borrowed from Gibbs. And he changes his glamour suit to actually be like an elf kind of suit.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So coming out, you can see Bubs, but like bright green, those little spinny shoes that have the bells on the ends of them.
it's a little
Yeah,
dangly.
absolutely. Yeah, no problem.
Guys,
Cute outfit, huh?
I'm gonna show you what Driftmas really means to me. The way Steel showed it to me.
I'm excited. Your cheer is infectious.
Oh my god, you're gonna love this spice. It's like magic.
Shades
mixed
walking around
with,
with that.
like
This like closes, the air is sucked out, and all of you kind of have to like steel yourself for a second to resist that pull. But after that initial depressurization, you can all walk out, and it goes from like you hearing it in like the vibrations of the air to the electronic voice of Bubs now talking over the comms. But you're all there, and you begin to walk with Bubs telling you excitedly all these things.
When we are not on a supply mission, you will have to explain to me the cultural requirements of Driftmas. I do not believe I understand.
You cross across this 10-foot wide walkway, and it's made from not solid steel. These are almost like woven cables, and so looking down, the drift is just below you. It's stable enough, but it's a little unnerving if you were not all like very seasoned space travelers. And as you approach the entryway, the door's not locked. As you draw close, it opens, and you can see beyond there are emergency lights still on, and it is the interior of an airlock. You can also see there is a laminated piece of paper that has been adhered to the wall, and a small post-it note that was stuck, almost like wrinkled and desiccated and faded, but stuck to the bottom of that piece of paper.
What's it say?
Yay, the props come out.
It's a Driftmas miracle!
What does it say?
Oh my god.
Driftmas party!
Oh my god.
God.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
If you can put on the combat cam too, you see this laminated poster for a Driftmas party. And it talks about gingerbread houses. It talks about a secret Santa. It talks about somebody called Santa Claus who's coming around.
Santa Claus.
All kinds of different things.
Hot chocolate.
Ham dinner.
Yeah, so you can see that they're apparently, and now kind of matching these lights that were hung outside, Bubs, it appears that this, for whatever reason, was abandoned right on the eve of Driftmas. And you see below that, there is a Post-it note stuck to it. And it says, everything's set up for the party. There's still some issues with the drift drive, though. Tell everybody to watch out when they start it up. Eddie. Faded, desiccated note.
Bub is like gonna put his hand on the note and like kind of like slowly move his hand down.
The Post-it note
Yeah.
crumbles.
Like to dust?
Yeah. This is laminated, and so it's holding up just fine, but that Post-it note, that was like, by virtue of the fact that it was sealed in an airlock and untouched for however long, was fine, and then
How
just-
long
I
was
does
gonna
it
say,
seem
can we
like?
carbon date
yeah,
that note?
Go ahead, make a physical science.
The android's trying to carbon date things.
Bubs is gonna say,
Oh, yes!
they never got to
My physical
have
science
their
sucks.
Driftmas party.
Can I also physical sciences this? Because I was also trying to
It's
carbon
a
date.
21.
21, okay.
I just rolled real high.
Good. 25.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I leveled up and I didn't change my notebook.
So, no problem. You both begin to look at this, and as you bend down and pick up the crumbled bits of what was a self-adhering note, because
How
the other
long?
group
Yeah,
is
how
not a
long has this
sponsor.
place been?
You don't really know a lot about paper. Paper's not super common these days, but you know a little bit about adhesives. And adhesives used in this kind of a product usually don't last a terrible amount of time. However, in a vacuum, it would make sense. The fact that it crumbled like that meant all the moisture had to seep out even in a near vacuum. That would take
Years,
decades. You're looking at somewhere on the with that roll. I'll say you pull out some Infosphere articles. You try to like match some things. You would guess it's been about 80 to 100 years.
Okay.
Bubs is going to continue and say,
No, that couldn't have happened. That wouldn't happen on Driftmas. Let's just go inside. Maybe there's something else we can find.
What wouldn't have happened on the Driftmas party? That seems like it would have happened on Driftmas.
No, that's
Are you all entering the space?
the note said.
Yeah. Eddie, we're here for the party.
You can see there's a big button that says cycle above it, and if you hit that, you imagine you would probably start the airlock cycle.
What time is it? What time did we arrive to Pepco?
About 2:20 a.m. Well,
Oh,
about
we
2
missed
a.m.,
the
but about
party.
2:20 a.m. now.
We missed the party by a few
At the
hours.
after party.
All right.
I don't know what this is. It's just.
It's a Driftmas party. It says it right here.
Is anybody pressing the button? Beep. As Echo presses the button, the exterior door shuts slowly, and then begins to fill with steam. Gibbs is very thankful that they stayed behind at the ship. Gibbs a little hesitant to not be the pilot in case you guys need to make a quick exit after last time. But as this cycle finishes, there's a small beep, and then you hear Pepco Station emitted from a digital voice, and the doors slide open on both ends. There's a large room that you enter into if you choose to walk out, and Shade, immediately you see tools everywhere. This is a mechanics bay. And instantly, one of the things that has not happened for a long time, because this is ancient technology, ding, there is Wi-Fi on the station. And you recognize that it's basically
I got
pinging you.
bars.
That's
I do so?
Okay, you connect, and your consciousness,
Cautiously.
Android as it is, spreads out across. You are probably the most intelligent technical device on this station by a good margin. And so as you go across, you connect and you realize you can control several appliances. There's a toaster somewhere. There's a 2-burner stove somewhere. But also, there are security cameras.
Okay.
Is Echo able to connect to this at all, or is Echo not able to connect to this?
What I would say is if you want to go ahead and make Echo, I would say you certainly can connect to this. You and Shade, you're not quite as old as Shade is, but you certainly would have, you're from the era where you would have a hotspot as well. So yeah, you definitely have that as
I
well.
want this expanded consciousness.
and Bub, oh, go ahead.
Can I scan the security, make sure that there's nothing on the cameras? You know,
Would you
kind of
guys like
like
a little
do a
visual?
sweep. Yeah, I just want to do a sweep of the building.
Move that,
Yay!
Oh
All the visuals!
In Bubs' mind
Whatever.
right now,
Pencil.
he's
Or-
he's
I
like
don't
putting
even-
away the
there
doubt
it is.
in his mind that something happened here, and he's thinking, "No, Driftmas is here. Be happy, Bubs." And Bubs is just gonna start just like
Driftmas is here.
he's gonna just start describing Driftmas as he's like building stuff.
And Echo, they have like these like tubes, right? And they're like kind of like toothpaste tubes, but like that's all where all the food comes from. And also they have like these like Spice.
Oh,
You'll like this.
Oh my god!
You guys.
we need help from that side.
it's a Driftmas miracle. I got this side.
And then you guys are entering, your ship is parked right here.
Okay.
So when you enter, you're entering, if you walk to the right, you'll see an actual lit Christmas tree that has...
Oh, this is so
Is it on
good.
combat camera? Oh, it is. Look at that.
Look at it, peeps!
Where did all of
And
them-
peeps!
So as the cycle ends and the doors open, you can see off to the right-hand side, there is a Christmas tree, still with many of its LEDs lit here. There are a whole bunch of gifts scattered around, and there is glitter and fake snow everywhere, and certainly fake. As the doors shoot open, it just displaces up into the air because it's very light. Looking to the left, you can see a motorcycle. You can see a series of crates. You see some gasoline. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
And as you kind of peer out and around and you begin to scan the cameras, you can see within this space there is an older shuttle. There is a number of different mechanics tools and tool benches and all kinds of things relating to that. You can see like a refueling station. You recognize that there are 2 different hallways. One of them contains the bathrooms and the other one contains the galley. The galley having all those appliances that you were connected to. You see there is off to the right what looks like an employee lounge for the Pepco station. This seems to have another Christmas tree in it. And you notice each one of these 3 Christmas trees that you see on the cameras, they all have different kinds of little decorations around them. Each one slightly different in theme. You also see there is a series of cameras that are more secure, although not secure enough to require a check. This is older, and actually I would say make a computers check. And this is not for seeing this. This is for something else.
Okay.
And this is for on the camera, or this is in front of us?
This is in cameras. You guys are walking into the big room with the purple ship in it.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah.
This is you with your
in the
special
eyeball.
eyes.
This is you and yeah.
34.
With a 34, as you kind of look across this space, there was what you might call a firewall, although pathetic. Basic technology. Before that firewall I described to you in the digital landscape, towering and imposing, this is like a child put up a couple Legos and made a little wall. You step right over it. There's a secure camera that opens up into a laboratory, and you can see within with a 34. Within, there is what looks almost like a humanoid creature frozen in a huge block of ice. Yeah. There are a number of small metallic discs that hover slowly around it, seeming to keep the ice intact. The cage is also another thing of ice. I just don't have 2 cube minis like that. But there seems to be maybe some small critters in there as well. You can see there's another camera that is even more secure, but even you can't get into it. Not because it's secure, because it seems to be broken. There is a camera that peers straight down the central hallway to the room that does not appear on camera. And you can see frozen in the window at the door the face of a reindeer. It seems to be a cryogenic chamber of some kind.
Okay.
That is what you see.
Bubs
This is so good.
Bubs is
Let me change the music up a little bit here.
in mid-sentence as he's like talking to Echo, explaining him about like the traditions.
Oh, and then there'd be this eat-weets, like dry, like pulp cracker that you would like eat, but you'd have to like put it under your tongue, and then like you'd like dissolve, and oh my goodness, oh my.
And he's gonna like run out, and he's gonna do like a Julie Andrews Sound of Music, like spinning around, like the hills are alive, like just arms out, circle, just everything is a blur to him.
So, Bubs, I assume you're going towards the tree.
Yes.
Okay, so you go spinning
wait!
out, and as the door opens, the snow, because it's fake, gets displaced up, so it's like falling around you, and as you spin, this is truly a very magical moment in this mechanics bay. But you kind of stop. Make a perception check, Bubs. This big smile on your face. Anybody looking at you would see this just huge smile, and the many lights reflecting across the helmet. 13. With a 13, you look at this tree, you see all these gifts. Oh man, there's like hundreds of gifts. Amazing. And beautiful ornaments. You can see like little mechanical snowflakes and little spaceships that have, at one point, LED like rockets that are now dead. But there is one ornament that you see that is a little bit different looking than all the rest. This ornament, and give me just one moment to pull up my mini spreadsheets. On the tree in the entryway, of the dozens of ornaments, you see little snowmen, you see little scenes of earth, sleds, packages, stale gingerbread cookies. They must be so stale. But you see one that seems to be about the size of a teacup saucer, a disc of silver, and it's ringed with thin little technology readers, some kind of optical drive. And on it says, Pepco Silver Snowflake. And beneath that, the Santa Claus Scavenger Challenge. There seems to be a button that is basically right in the center of the snowflake as well.
Oh my goodness, guys,
Sorry.
look at this. It's a Santa Claus scavenger hunt. Oh, Steel and me used to do these, and it was so much fun. I mean, like we didn't like really do it, we used to like watch people do it, but like it was so much fun just like watching people do
This
it.
wasn't about the snotty and Lashunta game. It's not one of those, is it?
No, this is like so magical, Spice. You're gonna love this. It's like you like find things together as a group, and like together as you find things that remind what you like about each other.
Oh my
I'd
god.
like to find the drone.
Shade, do you not want to find things that bring out the Driftmas spirit? Do you
Does
not
the
believe?
drone bring out the Driftmas spirit?
Oh,
How would it be tailored to us and ourselves if we have not been here before?
well, I don't know. I guess you're right. Maybe it wouldn't be, but maybe that's part of it. You know, maybe you just have to like find reasons why it's about yourself.
Myself,
See what
I
kind
would
of
very
starship
much like
that
to
is?
find that drone.
Yeah, make an engineering check.
Is that on your scavenger
Can I
hunt?
do the DC
You-
culture check?
Yeah.
You just want to find the drone.
Engineering's
You don't want
actually
to
better for me, but-
experience Driftmas here with us. You're just like Shade.
But the drone can provide many wonderful things that can upgrade our ship.
But
It is a gift that keeps on giving.
but that's not just Spice. You understand what I'm saying, right?
And he's
course
gonna
I
take
do.
her hand.
Papa, I would love to do this scavenger hunt with
Oh
you.
yes,
And he's gonna like grab her hands and like jump up and down and try to like spin around in a circle.
No problem. You
Like
do that.
dust
look
of
over.
snow kicks up around us.
No problem. The dust of snow kicks up around you, and as you do this, Shade, you kind of do an android sigh and walk off and look at the ship. You said 22 and a minus 5 to the DC.
for the DC, yeah.
This is an ancient Maxim Tech Stargazer shuttle with a production year.
That's what this purple
Yes.
lump is? Yes. Okay.
Of 2185. And the transponder, I would say with that check, as you connect into this, and the Starship security better than the stations, this says, instead of a name, congratulations on finding all the icons of Driftmas. Set a new name and password now. That is the name of the ship.
This is the prize to the scavenger hunt.
Jade, you're cheating! You didn't even do the scavenger hunt.
Can I try to hack into it to just bypass having to find all of the what did it just say they were?
All the little coins.
The tokens.
symbols of
or the-
Driftmas.
yeah, the
You're
symbols of
ruining the
Driftmas.
fun.
You certainly can. Go ahead and make a computer's check.
Can I make a first computer's check to make sure it's not gonna give me coal or something?
Absolutely.
As he's doing that, and Bubs is like spinning
Naughty
around.
boys get bad
He's gonna let go of
gifts.
Spice's hand and like take the snowflake off the tree.
Yeah.
And show Spice
Okay.
and say,
maybe we could find the stuff before he even does that. Like he probably will take forever.
24. For
Even if he finds it, let's just do the scavenger hunt anyway.
With the 24, you can hear them talking, and as you are doing this, you recognize it isn't. You can kind of hack it. There are elements of it that you can gain access to. The core of it is missing, and you would imagine the
putting
prize
together all of the
probably, yeah.
Bubs is going to shove like the snowflake into Spice's hand and just give her like a big hug.
Oh, this is why I love you so much. You know how to bring out the best in every moment.
As
Baba.
you press that little icon into Spice's hand, you press the button in the center, and it says, "Congratulations on finding the Pepco Silver Snowflake. You're one step closer to winning your new Maxim Tech shuttle. A heart of ice, a black smile, bent and crooked arms. I can only be born in the cold. What am I?"
snowman, snow person.
What? Do we answer with our voices?
You would imagine there is as you press that button, it came from some kind of speaker on it, so
Is there like a little like beep to like
A snow, a snow being.
Do you say this out loud?
No, I wouldn't say. Shade wouldn't say that. Shade would start checking the interwebs for it.
go ahead and
Putting all
provide
of
your
the-
answer now, or give the coin to the next Pepco team member to give them a try.
Oh, geez. Oh, I was never really good at these.
Jack Frost!
You said Jack Frost?
Yes.
Fantastic. That's incorrect. Please replace any coins you have collected and let the next Pepco team member try. Remember, sharing is part of the Driftmas spirit. Failure to do so will result in being placed on Santa's naughty list.
Oh, God.
Oh, I don't want to be on Santa's naughty list if he passes the snowflake off.
Bubs is gonna look at it.
Do you have any idea, Echo?
And like give it to Echo.
Help. Echo kind of looks down and says, a broken android.
That's incorrect. Please replace any coins you have collected and let the next Pepco team member try, etc., etc.
Can I do like a culture check to
Yes,
see
culture
with
check.
like just inputting all of the things that it
Sure. You just did a
all
deep
the
dive
all the
on
parts, just like
Driftmas. Yeah.
Oh, what? Was it a 1?
natty one.
You get really stuck on it not being a broken android because what else could it be? You get really caught on that.
Broken.
Shade hands it
Bubs
off.
is gonna take it, and he's gonna remember watching a movie with Steel, and Steel like pointing out like specific things, and in his mind he thinks back to Steel talking, and he goes, "And that kid, yeah, that is this," and Bub goes,
Oh, yeah, oh, I remember.
and he's gonna kind of like imitate Steel's voice, and go,
That is a snowman.
I like you imitating a character that you also do. It's phenomenal. That's correct. Please keep this silver snowflake coin. When Santa Claus arrives at at 10 p.m., if you have all 3 coins active, you'll win the prize. And this little thing, give me 1 second here. This little ditty.
You got it! Whoop.
Would this ship
What's that?
fit?
Just a little sound.
Would
coming
this
from the corner.
shuttle fit in our ship?
Yes. So this shuttle, you would imagine, would take up roughly one of the
of the
expansion
storage
bays that you
bays?
have. Yeah.
What, does the sound point us in the direction of the next coin?
It doesn't.
It's like a little like, doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, and I finished one of my gifts for you guys. Echo.
and he's gonna like produce a bunch of like beer cans and some dirt he got from Gibbs from.
Okay.
It's a very Gibbsian gift.
Yeah,
I-
absolutely.
I got, we forgot our plants back on, Oris Bay, and I figured maybe you and me could, have, a nice little garden, maybe in, the engineer room. Just, just the 2 of us.
You watch Echo's eyes do like the little slow blink thing again. And they start like blinking a little bit faster. And if it were a human, they would be like blinking back little tears.
Oh.
Nikolai.
I would like that, Bubs.
It'd be so great. It would be awesome when we go in there. People would be like, "Wow, you spent so much time making all these plants," and we'd be so cool. We'd be like, "Oh, it was
It's
no
gonna
work
head
at
to
all."
the next Christmas tree,
Yeah.
guessing that the 3 tokens are going to be located near those 3, what seem to be sort of beacons.
It's almost like in a video game where if you just kind of blur your eyes and you look for the one spot of light on the screen, you kind of know where the objective is.
Yeah.
You look at these beacons of Christmas joy and light, and you're like, I bet that's where the clues are.
Can we open the gifts under the... Are there actually gifts
Yeah,
under the
everything that you see there, I took great pain to make it look exactly like it is. So you see all of that.
And Bub's just gonna give Echo a big hug.
Okay, you give Echo a big hug.
Spice is going to pick up this long purple box,
Sure.
and open it because the name tag fell off in a piece of dust, and she's like, "Must be for me."
Sure. You take off the wrapping paper. It's very well wrapped, first of all. And as you pull the box open, you're so excited for it's roughly the size of a skateboard maybe. So you can't even imagine. You open it up, empty. It's just stuffed with Pepco brand. And you recognize these are corporate gifts. This is design. You look down at the fake snow and you're like, damn, not real gifts.
Simon Mall gift boxes.
No, go ahead. Just make a perception check.
Spice?
Yeah.
Oh, haha, natural 1.
We're just too blinded
And that is
by
what
the
you
lights.
Dusty.
So Shade, which door are you heading towards?
I can't really see past here. Is there a door?
Yeah, there's a door over
This
that
is the lounge area, right?
So if you go off to the right with your cameras, you will know that you're heading off in the direction of the galley. There's like a transitionary corridor that goes from the mechanics bay. Give me 1 second here. The mechanics bay over to what is like a primary hallway that then connects to the lounge, the laboratory, and whatever that main room is off and to the north.
Okay, so Shade is currently priority number 1 objective is finding the repair drone.
Okay.
Priority number 2 objective is collecting all of the tokens to get this so that we can take this because it would be useful for our ship.
For sure.
Priority number 3 is
Learning the true meaning of Driftmas.
figuring out
Please.
what the fuck Driftmas is all about.
Absolutely.
And then maybe checking out this motorcycle.
So are you
At
going
some
over to
point.
this tree right now?
Finding the best route to this tree.
Bubs is gonna run off with
Okay.
Shade and like.
Is
leave Spice
everybody
and Echo
heading in
behind.
that direction?
Echo would follow the group.
Okay.
I kind of feel like Echo and Spice are following Shade and Bubbles, like
Okay.
the two parents that are like watching their kids run on Christmas morning
And
up to the
certainly
Christmas tree.
that is the energy coming from Bubs.
I will say, with Echo's little beer
him on a
can
leash.
gift, Echo does feel a little bit more involved.
Yeah, no problem.
Driftmas spirit
Just infiltrated the
possessed
wiring.
you.
A doorway that says corridor to galley points beyond. And as you approach, the doorway opens up. And beyond, you can see just a kind of U-shaped hallway that curves around what must be the galley. And as you enter, you look off and to the left, you can see there is a coffee machine, a microwave, a sink, a counter. There's a cutting board with a very nice vegetable cutter. There's a combination oven, a little stove. It's like a small kitchenette. For the early space stations, this was actually quite a nice kitchen.
Over there.
There's a refrigerator that you can see as well, although it's not quite full-sized. And you can also see, though horrifically molded, a single gingerbread rendition of this space station.
Oh my god.
And looking at it, you can see it's fairly accurate in terms of its layout. Not proportional, but right shape.
Can
Echo,
I carbon date the gingerbread?
What I would say is...
life sciences.
make a life sciences check if you want.
All the mold.
Why not? Gibbs could probably do it.
Echo's gonna pocket the vegetable peeler.
Okay, this isn't a vegetable peeler. This is a vegetable chopper. So it's a long handle, and as you look at it, it's like a burl wood that's been dyed a blue almost, and then these golden rivets hold it into the handle. From everything that's like corporate here, this is clearly something that like somebody probably brought from home, and then it was left when whatever happened
The
happened.
staff Christmas party.
Yeah, it's like a really nice vegetable cutter amidst. You look
basically
over,
like a fancy
you can
chef's
see
knife.
a Jacinto Brewbuster 2. It's like a drip coffee machine. A
feel like
Jacinto
Gibbs would be
Nutra
taking
Halo
all of this
microwave.
stuff.
It's all just like basic stuff. But this is like a very nice vegetable cutter.
I got a 12 on that life sciences.
So you walk over, and as
gingerbread.
you try to get close to it, the smell of it, even though you don't need to breathe, as you can kind of understand that this is not something that you should get much closer to. It has a liquid look that gingerbread just simply should not have.
Yeah,
It looks wet, and nothing else here has had moisture. In fact, things have crumbled when you touch them.
Don't love
so,
that.
Yeah, it makes you a little bit upset.
Spice is going to pick up one of the gingerbread moldy Christmas trees and put it in her pocket and think, Gibbs will probably want this.
Yeah. You grab one of the moldy chunks
Merry
of
Christmas,
gingerbread.
Gibbs.
It like crumbles in your hand and it's mealy at the same time. It's almost like kinetic sand. It's not great. But you put that in your pocket.
Gross.
In the pocket of her like puffy coat.
There's like a little
Not
hand towel hanging from the refrigerator so you can just like wipe off your hands if you want as well. No problem.
What I do for love.
Bubs is gonna look around and see all the trash, and he's also gonna think of Gibbs.
Yeah.
And he's going to start brainstorming ideas of what he can get for Gibbs.
Gibbs loves food. You saw Spice take the thing, but there is a refrigerator here as well.
But he's gonna think, maybe I can get Gibbs something more peace of mind.
Okay.
And he's going to just like pull out like a little like a sketch pad on his comm.
Okay.
And he's gonna make like fake little like like a kid like basically like makes like a gift for their parents, but it's like
A coupon?
exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Those
He's
coupon
gonna make.
books.
Yeah.
So the first coupon is going to be 1 free back rub.
Okay.
The second coupon is going to be 1 area of the ship that she can keep dirty, no questions asked.
Okay. Dang.
And the
Seems like it's gonna
third,
get
Seems
broken.
like a
Do
thing
you
that
show that to anyone else?
and the third
been
one.
a group decision on that one.
Well, Bub's no question asked, and the third one is I will do her
Bub's bed.
1 favor. Also, no questions asked.
Okay, yeah, no problem. You begin to set up a little coupon book.
And he's gonna eventually start sending it when it's done.
Now, for the rest of you, if you want, you can just continue to walk and move on to that main corridor beyond.
I want to open that fridge, bro, before we leave this
You
galley.
pop open the fridge, and it's mostly empty. Thankfully, more than anything else.
It's like an
You do
No
see a
eggnog.
lobster thing.
desiccated half-summer sausage. There is an unopened 6-pack of limited edition holiday spice space cola. There is a bottle of ketchup that weirdly has not passed its expiration date, mostly just because it's ketchup. And then you can see also, still good, a sealed jar of chili crisp. There is also, yeah, that's what you see.
I'm gonna take the cola, ketchup, and chili crisp.
There you go. You raid this Pepco employee fridge. Not a problem.
Thanks, Eddie. I'm
It's like
feeling me
you're getting
drift
more.
with spirit.
If you continue
There's
to
no
move on-
holiday ham in here, is there?
No, it seemed that the holiday ham unfortunately didn't quite make it aboard.
Rats. It's wasn't that a part of this invite here?
There's a ham.
Ham dinner.
dinner.
I want to know what a ham
Usually
dinner
dinners are
is.
catered, and so you'd imagine the caterer would show up the day of. However, are you guys continuing to move on?
Yes.
Yeah, Shade
Yeah.
is just priorities.
Bub is gonna try to like catch up with Shade, and like try to get like a moment alone with him.
Okay. The door opens, and it opens up into this long corridor. You can see it goes all the way the width of the station, and you can see that there are 2 doors as well as a hallway that leads off, and you know that leads to the room that you can't quite see into, Shade.
Yeah.
The first door that you guys would come across, you know, leads to the employee lounge, what looks to be the employee lounge. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a little button outside to open the door.
Boop.
It opens, and into this room you can see there are a number of couches that form almost like a little lounge area around a metallic coffee table. You can see there is a number of lockers, all of which are hanging open with the keys out, like they're have just been installed and are waiting for people to put belongings into. You see a number of beds. You see what looks like the beginnings of a computer terminal, like almost like a workstation that you would drop your laptop or tablet onto, but it doesn't have like any computer systems. You also see a massive Christmas tree. This one, metallic red, and all these Christmas trees are fake, they're not real. But you see the light still functioning, the beautiful fake snow across the various bits of glitter, and in this particular space, I assume, who's looking for or who's going to grab this little ornament first?
If we found it, I would probably pick it up, but I'm not going to be answering the question if there's a question.
Bubs, I imagine it's like just Bubs and Shade in this room at this moment, and Bubs is gonna look at the. Because I ran off ahead with him.
Wow, look at this tree, Shade. Doesn't this like make you feel anything?
I'm imagining that this is where like Spice is bending down with the fridge door open, blocking the hallway so Echo can't continue. Just like pulling things out, and Echo, you're just standing there like blinking, waiting.
Where's the eggnog?
Vegetable knife in hand.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah, so I say that
Thinking
to
about it.
Shade.
What does it make me feel? It's a metal tree.
Oh, no, I get it. You think, what kind of idiot would believe in like a made-up holiday like this?
I didn't think that.
No, but you don't have the spirit. I mean, my first Driftmas, Steel took me off planet and he made me look at the stars. It was the first time I ever saw them. And in Prime Station, there's nothing but fake grass and fake everything, but once you see them for real,
And he's gonna look up at the star on the tree.
But this is also a fake tree and a fake star.
But it doesn't matter if it's fake.
But
It's what it represents. And yeah, sure, looking at the stars for real was a magical moment with me and Steel. But what really made them good was just being there with Steel to see them. It wasn't important that they were real or not.
okay. And what is the relevance to our current objective?
Not everything has to have an objective.
And I would say at this moment, the two of you now enter the bottle neck of spice now being removed.
Spice immediately dives under the tree and rips open a present.
Echo like
Same
definitely
thing.
was like pushing Spice through the hallway.
Gently
Like,
taking off the token.
You remove this token, and from the lights, it is a small coin similar to the first that depicts a smiling snowman, and it reads Pepco, Golden Snowman beneath.
No, it doesn't like.
There's a little button you
Oh,
can press.
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
press the button.
Congratulations on finding the Pepco Golden Snowman. You're one step closer to winning your new Maxim Tech shuttle. A secret message to be shared, forbidden desire sheathed in lustrous fabrics. I am often expected. I am always given. What am I?
A gift.
Yeah, that was my thought
Are
too.
you saying that?
Yeah.
That's correct. Please keep this Golden Snowman coin. When Santa Claus arrives at 10 o'clock, if you have all 3 coins active, you win the prize.
Bubs is gonna like take Shade's hand, like jump up and down, but I imagine Shade staying still. He's just like jumping around, trying to like spin
It
around.
wasn't lingerie?
It was not.
Oh.
Although I like that as an answer.
Oh, you did it! You did it!
That's what's inside the gift.
Yeah.
Oh.
You should hold on to this.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, I think maybe. Oh, never mind. Guys, isn't this a beautiful tree? I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
Oh, I
Wanna
like that
see
this one's
if there's
red.
anything else in here for priority 2.
Make a perception check.
It is indeed very symmetrical.
Oh, and you wouldn't believe like all the trees are like super symmetrical because they like trim them that way. But like sometimes like you can like if you look really hard you can like see like different things about them and it's like oh well that one's like totally different from that one and like it's like and like sometimes the lights are different. Oh, it's so cool.
With a 26, you said? I'm not good at finger
Yes.
numbers. Okay. 26, you look around this room and it's almost odd. There are very few belongings here. You find a few things like outlet covers, like the little covers
Little
that come on
plugs.
prongs.
Yeah.
And you recognize as you like sniff around, there's no spills. You're not seeing any kind of like what most corporations do. There's no area rugs that are kind of covering stains. This is brand new. You look over at these wide open lockers. It's like nobody ever got a chance to even use this place. And so there's not a whole lot of stuff to find. There are a lot of fake presents.
Can I, while we're continuing,
Sure.
do like a background check of this, like, search terms being Pepco, this specific location around like 100-something years ago?
Yeah,
the
make a
time
cultures
frame
check.
to kind of figure out like, was this a station that was being opened before? And then they were like, you know, it was like fucking Papagino's opening a bunch of places and then being like, wait, no, not all of these
Not a
places.
sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Staring
Yeah,
at the really bright lights and then thinking back to the automatic doors. Echo realizes that the station still has power.
Some, yeah.
Stuck.
Solar power?
It is wedged
Power in the
Drift?
drift.
side. Sorry, 14.
A 14.
Magic of Christmas.
As you look around and you... Sorry, what was this for?
For the culture check to see,
right.
like, did this place ever open, or was this like
As
it was
you
gonna
look
open?
through the infosphere and you look very quickly as you query the name of this station, Pepco, I think it's 252.
Yeah, I think that was
282.
282.
There are news articles, absolutely, that come up. There was a Pepco station that was set to be launched on Driftmas Eve as part of this great expansion outwards when Jacinto was pushing out amongst the stars. At the same time as several way stations, including way station El Paso. This was the first that was supposed to be transported through the drift proper. and it disappeared.
Oh.
There was supposed to be a secret Santa Claus party. A lot of the people are disappointed because they gave these presents to it's a Santa robot, and it was just kind of rented and repurposed as a Santa Claus. But they gave their $30 gifts to Santa, and still orbiting in the drift somewhere are these presents. So
Okay.
you also
He's like, oh, ho, ho, ho.
yeah. And so recognizing that he shows up at 10 o'clock, he probably shows up every 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just
It's going to be like
always-
Futurama Santa.
Yeah, it's almost Driftmas. It's always Driftmas here.
Can Bubs do a perception check to see if there's any mistletoe here?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a 14.
You see no
I'd
mistletoe.
probably like ping
Yo,
to
that's
echo
spicy
one of
looking for
the
this mistletoe.
one of the news articles being like, this place, look at what happened here.
It's not gonna be that much better.
You get that article.
What is it? Perception?
Yeah.
Echo like side message back.
19.
No mistletoe.
Echo messages back. That is unfortunate. But it also seems as though no one is aboard.
Which makes it fortunate for us. I ping back.
Down the hallway, as you lean out the door, there is the corridor that goes off to the right, and then further down the hall, you see a door that leads to this cryogenic slab. Where are you going?
Probably not the cryogenic slab first because we can't get in there yet, right? Or we couldn't see with the security cams, right?
If you walk to the middle of the hall and look down, you can see now much clearer. There is a huge window in this 10-foot wide door, and right up in the middle of the window pane, you see a terrified face of a reindeer that was probably frozen. I mean, it's hard to get consent from a reindeer, so it was probably quite terrifying to it. You can see, make a person. I would say if you want to get right up there and like to the window, you could try to peer through, but the density of the ice behind does make it almost opaque.
That's not really Shade's style. He's gonna check it out later.
Okay.
The other door is over here.
Yes.
All right. Probably make my way that way.
Okay.
But
Echo.
The player wants to do this. Echo wouldn't do this.
Do what? Tell me. I'll have Spice do it.
So you walk over to this other doorway, and here you can see. First of all, the door is locked. This door seems to be a little bit different. The coloration is different. You don't see any Pepco marking. There is no, little festive elements to this.
this is
really.
into the lab.
Yes. And you actually see just the stenciled on 08 to the right of the door.
No like little key code terminal or anything like that.
Oh, sorry, I was wrong. 021. 021. And there is a little button, but you can see there is a place. You haven't seen one of these in a long time either, for a mag strip to be swiped along it. This is old tech.
Well, that's part of priority 2, but it's also a likely lead for priority 1. So Shade's gonna start looking for the access card for this room.
Okay.
Probably double back there at some point, but see like there's stuff over
So
here.
Shade
and
starts
shit.
walking around the space station. What are the rest of you doing?
It's definitely a reindeer, not a fox, right?
You want to go over and like really look?
Yeah, Spice is gonna go up. And
Spice walks
It's a
down the hall. Make a
Krampus.
perception check. Poof, you get up close. You use your eyes to like make the glare of the dim lighting a little bit lower, and you peer through.
Bubs will probably join you.
You can make a perception check too if you want,
Okay.
Bubs.
18.
An 18. Okay, that's not bad.
Ooh,
does that
that's a 1.
So, Bubs,
Bubs'
as you get
Breath
close,
fogs up the glass.
yeah, your breath can't see a single thing. But for a moment before Bubs ruins it for you, Spice, you can see this is a huge, real frozen reindeer. This is a cryogenics chamber, and so probably were you to deactivate it, this would be a live reindeer, a very scared live reindeer. So something to keep in mind.
Squeak.
With that check, as you really,
He's
really
not with
peer
us
in,
anymore.
you can see just behind it mechanics, legs, arms, a drone. It seems to be the query of all of your search, this robot thing.
Spice does not say anything because she wants to get to the last Christmas tree before revealing to Shade that she found the drone.
Not at all surprising.
Bubs can't see it because he rolled on that one.
Yeah.
But what Bubs is gonna do, as he fogged up the glass, he is going to take his finger and he's going to make like an outline of a wreath of mistletoe.
Sure.
And he's going to turn to Spice and say,
in Driftmas culture, you're supposed to kiss under the mistletoe, and well,
and he's gonna like point to it.
She boops his nose and goes, "Did you just make that up?"
well,
Culture check.
I have a really
Disadvantage.
high culture check.
Yeah, it's true.
I
Actually.
mean, I don't need an excuse to give my Spice by a kiss, but you know what?
She kisses you.
Spice, I got you this gift for Driftmas. And since we're alone, I think it'd be better if I gave it to you.
And it's a series of 12 Polaroids on the back have different dates, like of
They're
the
very
month.
tasteful.
And it's basically like a calendar.
called
And each
boudoir.
each
Not
Polaroid has Bubs in a different, like it's him in the medical bay with
Is
like
it like the
Gibbs.
fucking Seinfeld?
Yeah, they're like a sexy calendar Polaroids. It's like
Oh my
the medical
God.
bay is like Bubs in like a Gibbs like leftover like nurse outfit that he probably found or something like a scrubs or something. There's probably like in the mechanics bay Bubs found some tools and he's like graciously like hiding his like shade behind like a big wrench or something.
Oh my god, you know I'm going to actually draw this calendar. You know.
Gibbs is in the med bay,
Oh my
like
God.
sniffing the like
Oh my god.
scrubs, and she's like, no, no.
This is the greatest gift anybody has ever given me.
Only the greatest
I love
gift
it!
for my greatest gal.
I didn't know that you get
God, not
gifts.
there.
I'm sorry, I don't know human culture.
Jade, you make while all of this is happening, you are looking for this key card. So thankfully you don't hear it. Echo, are you doing anything?
Echo's following along with Shade.
Wait,
You see the
please.
Polaroids start to come out, and you're like,
Okay, gotta go.
Echo's like, Echo, I think the second they both got really close to the window is like,
I'm gonna go in the opposite direction.
You take a little bit of time to look for a key card, and there doesn't seem to be one. You really peer around, and Shade, you do see, over the course of your exploration, that motorcycle, functional, and kit built. This is not like a company-produced motorcycle. Somebody made this. May have maybe even designed the parts. It's a little bit ramshackle for that, but definitely built for somebody
Merry
special.
Driftmas to me.
You also find there are enough components here that should you get some help carrying it back, you could craft a engineering station.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
speaking of
What
Merry
a gift.
Driftmas to you.
Merry
Yeah.
Driftmas to me.
Now that being said, you will need help getting it back. It's hundreds of pounds of equipment.
Echo is in the room with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, this would be useful for our ship.
What's that crate being over there if we look at this combat?
It's a mimic.
No,
This one?
No, what
This
used
one?
to be the elevator with Emma. The
Yeah, that's another like.
That's
ice
another
cube.
ice cube.
Oh.
So you
okay.
won't be able to really see in that until you get into the room.
Okay.
It's like this, but
Yeah, exactly.
Joe
I just don't
doesn't
have
have a
another.
second
That's
one
a
of these.
that's a what are those things called? The cubes.
gelatinous
Gelatinous
ooze.
Okay.
But I just only have 1 minute.
So
It's ice.
behind the glass that I'm looking at with the reindeer, is
Yep.
there some way to open the door should I want to, or release the glass?
So
the
looking at
cryogenic?
this, you can see there is a what looks like a button. This button has the number 2 above it.
2.
Yeah.
021. That was the thing on the door.
We don't know this.
Oh, we saw the. It says
Okay,
it. It's
yeah,
stenciled
I
on
was
the
none
door.
of
that
this.
note.
Oh.
It's on the right side of the door.
Yeah, you probably would have walked past it.
Spice is not
glanced
going to
at
push
least.
the button yet, but she's thinking in her head, replacement pet?
Squeaky's gone. We'll get a reindeer.
Wait, so in
Open up
cryogenics,
that-
I would know that I can or cannot read its thoughts because it probably doesn't have any because it's frozen.
Are you trying to?
Yeah.
It's like,
You reach
holy
out.
shit, it's cold.
And it's a very odd sensation. There is the barest hint of activity from it,
Okay.
but not enough to meaningfully do anything.
So it's
You get the sense-
alive.
yes, you get the sense that it's alive. And for what it's worth, what is the range on that?
60 feet. Oh, yeah,
From
60.
the
Yeah.
cryogenics lab off to the left, there are certainly living things within there as well.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to tell size. I just can tell that there's the existence of thought. Okay. I think, alright.
Maybe 3 or 4 thoughts, yeah.
I like that we all have different floor colors, but the same grid.
Yeah. So, you spend some time, you find no key card.
Okay.
You all sort of meet back in this hallway. What are you doing?
Jam the ornaments in there, I don't know.
I do not believe that will be useful unless
Aren't they
ornaments
little
are magnetized.
Maybe, I don't know. This is scavenger hunt.
Are we right here in front of the door?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I could help.
And I'm gonna take out my giant hammer.
Don't hit it! This is a game, babe. This is not a battle.
I think that this is part of the scavenger hunt.
And for what it's worth, the scavenger hunt not really meant for you guys. So there are parts to this that you probably don't have. Like if this is a locked door, it's probably locked for a reason.
Can
And
I try?
so, yeah.
Sorry, you should
No,
try to smash
no.
it down.
No, I think you're right. That would be against the spirit of the game.
I couldn't find the key card. But can I try to like pull the panel off of the card reader
Make,
to like?
make an engineering check. And this is a higher DC. This is old technology, and you're trying to get it to do something that's not necessarily designed to do.
Math 33.
Okay.
That's a pretty high.
That's a high roll.
Right.
Is that
And so what you recognize right away is this will not work in the way that you want it to. You can't just get a door to open using the components for something that is designed to type and display numbers. But as you look into the housing, this is a mostly metal ship. This is before ceramics really kind of took over. And you recognize that were you to disconnect one of the wires and looking around, there is light, there is still power. You might be able to touch it to the frame and activate anything electronic that is touching this panel. And so you touch it, and with that zap, the door opens.
Oh, but
Pendragon erupts from the doorway.
Time to fight!
God damn it!
As Shade is doing that, Bubs is gonna continue as he's saying the spirit of the game.
but Steel always said, cheating was also part of the game, and it's just a shortcut to, victory.
Cheating is not a part of the game.
I do not believe that this particular game has rules for cheating.
Also, we aren't playing the game, really. We're just trying to get the components.
We are playing the game.
We are playing.
But you are the one who answered the question.
At one
You
point-
are playing the game.
There was a computer here. It is very close to the ice field, and you can see at some point maybe moisture picked up elements of the ice, and slowly it's frozen over time. That computer, pretty much, it looks like it slowly burst from the inside. The mechanical components slowly erupting with cold. However, what you do notice about some of those parts is that they are unique. You've never seen parts that look like these, except for one other place. Your ship.
Echo wants to take a closer look at the ice fields,
Sure.
just because that's the most, that's the weirdest thing in the room.
Echo, you walk over, and as you approach, your blue mechanical eyes reflect off the ice. But looking through, it's almost like these are two workstations. You can see there are computer desks set up, again, stations without the actual machines, pushed up against the ice itself. And there is machines between the two that seem designed to continue whatever field is keeping them as is.
So the field is intentional.
It seems to be. You can see they're just huge hunks of frozen material, and within, the one on the left seems to have a tall, humanoid-looking creature. You've never seen an alien that looks like it. Heavy white fur, really thick hands, odd-looking creature. And then in the other, at first it looks empty, but then you look down.
Tardigrades.
You see 4 sub-microscopic creatures. You see 4 Arctic foxes, kind of all in the moment of like pouncing on each other and playing, frozen.
Ice-type Vulpix, anyone?
Oh my god,
Spice,
that's
are you
like
with her?
Yeah, I'm in the room.
You recognize those were the thoughts that you were sensing before. This ice creature, this guy,
They're alive.
and these foxes. They are
They're
very
alive.
much alive.
As this is happening, Bubs is gonna start making a Shade's gift with like a pen and just like taking apart the pen and like some cloth and some tape.
Yeah, sure, no problem. What are y'all doing? There's also a big Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
Very similar to the other ones that you've seen. It has lots of glitter, lots of lights, and all these fake presents. And Spice, you're almost sure that they're fake. They look very much like the other ones.
Echo pivots towards the tree and looks for the
token.
icon.
Yeah, the icon.
Your eyes zoom in on the now familiar shape of this kind of almost medallion. And because it is 8:15,
No!
a quick
I wanna open the presents.
semi
I'm gonna turn off. the
After that,
Christmas tree
we will
first.
jump right back into our game. Thank you so much for joining us and for bearing with us through our early technical difficulties. We'll be right back, hopefully. We'll see you in just a little
I
bit.
unplugged it.
That was
So
perfect.
And welcome
timing.
back. Hopefully you're still here. Hopefully we're still here. This is our Driftmas special. Merry Driftmas, everybody.
Merry Driftmas.
Merry
Here
Driftmas
comes
to all.
Santa Claus.
Merry
Here comes
Driftmas.
Santa Claus.
So
Right
far,
down Driftmas
Mosaic
Lane.
Team 5. You have arrived at this abandoned space station, this Pepco gas station within the Drift. And miraculously, though it is technically March 13th, I believe, it seemed to have been abandoned right on the eve of their Driftmas party. And so you have walked through the space station decorated for Driftmas with snow and presents and sparkling lights and a unique set of challenges at the end of which there may be a prize of a brand new shuttle.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You have found 2 of the clues, and here in this freshly broken into cryogenics chamber, or cryogenics laboratory, excuse me, you can see on this gleaming tree a platinum coin that dangles from this gleaming green tree. It says,
Is it in the shape of a coin?
yes,
Okay.
Pepco Platinum Gift, and you can see the button is in the shape of a gift. Congratulations on finding the Pepco Platinum Gift. You're one step closer to winning your new Maxim Tech shuttle. What is the temperature of the absolute absence of heat? In most specific scientific terms.
0 degrees Kelvin.
You're holding it?
0 degrees Kelvin.
That's correct! Please keep
It's
this
no fun
platinum
having
gift.
this scavenger hunt with
When Santa
androids.
Claus arrives at 10 p.m., if you have all 3 coins active, you win the prize. And you hear that little pleasant gift sound go again, which will come up in just a moment.
Bubs is gonna run over to Echo and
You win the prize.
take her hand and like jump up and down with her. Do you jump up with the Bubs?
Echo doesn't jump, but Echo like lets the hand thing happen.
Oh, you did it! You did it!
You
Oh,
possess all 3 coins on your person right now, Echo?
Echo has 1.
Bubs has the other 2.
Okay.
Echo passes it off to Bubs.
Oh,
I'm gonna like hold up all 3.
I couldn't have done this without my friends and
As
this
you hold
moment.
up all 3, a little compartment in each just slides open and little tiny, almost like a party popper in each. Out. One of them gets you right in the face, almost in the eye, because it's like not really, nobody thought about directionality with these, but it's like a little, and yeah, there you go.
Oh, what is?
Now we can get the shuttle.
Spice is gonna tear open another gift underneath the Christmas tree just in case.
Empty box.
Man.
I'm so glad we came here, guys. This is such a magical place.
It would be more magical if we could find the drone.
Shade. Instead of saying that, Spice just glances you a dirty look and be like, just go with it.
Shade, make a perception.
Come on, Shade. Even Echo's getting into it.
Perception 16.
With the 16, you look around and you can see over by that corroded terminal, luckily not touched by the ice, there is a button, glowing red marked 1.
Oh. There should be 2 more buttons.
Echo looks at the consoles that are in front of them by the...
Yeah, but the ice.
Thank you. Words.
Yeah.
Are there big glowy red buttons there?
There are not glowy red buttons. Spice, as you hear Shade talk about other buttons, you know that there is a button marked 02 right out by the other door, for what it's worth.
Is there one that's marked just 0?
As far as you can tell, no, but make a perception check. Take a look around.
Alright, Spice.
For
is
whoever
going
would like to look for more buttons, go ahead and make a perception check.
Let's use the Christmas die.
I'm using the dice that Emily.
11.
Blessed
Oh,
Christmas
nice.
die.
Blessed Christmas
Blessed
dice.
Christmas.
Not 20, but almost.
Nice.
I got a 26.
11.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
21.
Okay.
30!
You got a 1?
21.
Oh.
You all spend some time looking around this cryo. Cryo.
Chet?
lab. No, not Chet. Never Chet.
Bruh.
Oh my god, I love Chet, Celia, and then there was Dan. What was your character's name?
I don't even remember.
Neil Gorsick. No, Don Gorsick.
Don?
Yeah.
Well, I keep
You
wanting
see-
to call him Marco.
There is
based on the real name of the guy.
nothing really like scattered around this place. You do find a number of just unbranded pens. You can find some blank reams of paper, but it's almost like this has been set up to be used and hasn't actually been really moved into yet. With a 30, you find the same thing as everybody else, but as you slide the drawer open in one of these things, you can see there is an instruction manual for the door that is between you and the cryogenics place. It's like the instruction manual that comes with installation. And as you flip through it, it seems like there are 2 buttons that can be placed anywhere for the customer's convenience, and pressing both buttons at once will cause the door to open. Both buttons. 2. You look at everybody else looking around for more buttons.
It appears there should be one more button.
There isn't one in this room. Perhaps it's in a different room.
Echo looks to Bubs and says, I told you, the drone is part of our scavenger hunt.
Oh, you're right. It is part of the scavenger hunt. But maybe we just have to, find a reason for it to matter to us.
Yeah, we have to find a reason for it to matter.
Repairing the ship.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
It is the gift that keeps on giving to the director.
All right, fine.
Echo. With that look, I'll say there is one more thing that you find. You find, in all of this time, you haven't found like really computer components or anything like that. But as you like open that drawer all the way out, because most of the time when you open that drawer, you just kind of pull and look, and you found just the corner of the instruction manual. So you pull it all the way out now.
It gets stuck and then they pull too hard and it goes poof.
Yeah. But as you kind of hold this drawer now, I guess in both hands, you see there is one more thing in here. Well, a couple other things. You see a little screwdriver. You see a couple rubber bands. This looks like it was left behind by the person who installed it. But in addition to all that, you find a very cheap, what looks like a wristwatch that maybe had some buttons on it, although the lettering has long been worn away. It almost looks like it would be used for calculating things. But as you touch it, it activates and comes to life, still has a battery, and it reads 9:45 p.m.
The local time on this station is 9:45 p.m.
The party starts in 15 minutes?
If we are to complete our scavenger hunt, we must be back at the meeting location, should we not?
Okay, well, I know. All right, I want to come clean. I know where the drone is, and it's behind the reindeer.
Well, then let's go get it.
Well, do we want to unfreeze the foxes? Are we going to come back for them? Can I look around for a dolly?
Yeah, I would say over the course of you guys all looking for different things, in the mechanics bay, certainly, there are several dollies.
Okay, I'm going to
They're-
grab 4 dollies.
Okay.
And I would assist.
Start loading up
For
some
what it is
stuff.
worth, these 4 foxes, frozen in a block of ice roughly 10 feet tall and 10 feet
I would
wide.
probably be like,
This is a 10 by 10 foot cube of ice, and it's not really ice. As you look at it, like, it's a material made out of multiple different things. If anybody wants to make a life sciences or physical
Yeah, I
sciences
do.
check to see
Just
if
for
they can-
funsies, yeah.
Not going to get it.
No.
You and I are both not.
Too
Could've gone
focused
either
on this
way.
watch and how they're definitely going to give this watch to Gibbs.
I'm pretty good at life sciences, but not this time because I rolled a 2, so it's a 6.
Yeah, water probably.
12.
Oh my god, I have a +1 to life science, so I got a 6.
Just a cube of water.
Got a 6.
But yeah, you see it's 10 by 10. It's huge, and this is probably several hundred pounds. And it begins to occur to you, you probably have to choose, if you're not going to thaw it right here, between these foxes and all that equipment that's out in the bay.
Oh, she's gonna look for how to thaw the foxes then.
Echo's just like, I believe we must press these 2 buttons.
To thaw the foxes?
The 2 buttons will open the door that leads to that cryogenic chamber. And if there is something to unfreeze that chamber, perhaps there are buttons in that room.
If only I had my dragon breath installed, so then I could fucking melt this ice block, but I haven't met someone
Would
who can
you
do
not then
augmented.
toast the foxes?
Does the computer...
Well, not
Can I
until
access
hook
the
up to them
computer?
and
Is
then
there a way
stop.
to, like,
I have a heart.
defrost the cryogenics room? in the computer
You
system?
imagine there was originally,
Did it grow
but that
three
computer
sizes?
is total.
That's the one that's busted.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. This one though is the one I would be able to defrost these with the computers over here.
There is a single function to defrost both.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're gonna defrost them,
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Yeah, because I would probably look at this computer and then look to the side and see the other thing that's frozen in there.
And it is certainly frozen solid, but you see the pupil like glancing sideways, and as
Oh my
frozen
God.
as it is, like it really feels like it's staring at you.
I'm going to leave this room and go look for. Well, I'm gonna, with Echo, be like, I'll go press the other button.
Should we not go and win our prize first? This can be done at any time, but we only have so much time to win the contest.
It's about 9:55.
Echo's like,
So in
we
five
should
yeah,
hurry
okay,
back.
good point.
Suppose
I'm gonna-
Senta will arrive.
Yeah, I guess I'll take the tokens from Bubs,
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
like,
Oh.
and we'll walk out to the
Is Bubs
prize.
staying?
As a group, no, we should
Yeah.
all go.
I think we'll all go.
So you guys are all going back to the mechanics bay?
Yeah, I'm gonna go try to turn this thing on so we can load it onto the ship.
Echo sees you take the tokens from Bubs, and Echo just like, whoop, whoop.
What?
It was his idea to do the scavenger hunt. He
Oh.
should be the one to win.
Take it.
Oh, I mean, all right.
Babe, you know the most about Driftmas. It's human after all.
Well, I
At
mean,
9:59, Echo, suddenly, you are like looking at this little watch, waiting for it to turn. There's like 20 seconds left, and suddenly there is a little beep as the PA system, so far powered down, goes live in the station. And it plays this weird sound. For most of you, kind of odd. But for you, you recognize sleigh bells. And they begin to just jingle through the PA system.
Spice straws are gone.
Okay. You draw your weapon, and suddenly you see the little light above the airlock cycle. Somebody's in there.
I pull
Oh
out
my god!
no, guys,
Is this an ambush?
put your guns down. It's
It could be an attacker.
no, it's not.
Who is it?
Gibbs.
Suddenly, there is a little beep beep, and you see on your watch 10 o'clock. And you hear from the inside of that the same message that you heard before. Welcome to Pepco Station. And the door shoots open, and you see emerge from it this massive, this is a Senta drone. Senta, not a military
Not that
drone, but it's the same basis for which, so if you play on Mac,
Horrifying.
I don't know how much you know about military hardware, but there is this thing that is called that was called the Predator drone, and it was
Yikes.
originally released for surveillance and for videotaping things, and it eventually got used for dropping Hellfire missiles. This was originally used for dropping Hellfire missiles, has since been expanded into multiple domains because it's a very, very useful humanoid-looking mechanical device. However, this one, covered in a red jacket, this big fluff that goes down the middle of white. You can see he has a red Santa Claus hat on, a fake beard that hangs away, covered in ice crystals. You can see many of the elements of clothing, like kind of frayed, definitely ancient, and kind of threadbare. He has a big bag, and there seems to be just a few gifts in this bag. But as he walks through, you can hear he just goes, "Ho, ho, ho! Merry Driftmas! Gather round for your presents." And
It's
he,
a-
slowly, it kind of catches and catches and catches, and then comes off his shoulder, and he like pulls around this big gift bag. And as he thrusts it out, you hear the mouth opens, and you hear from it, "Remember, take only the gift with your name on it." And then the mouth kind of closes, and if you wish, anybody would like to reach into the bag.
Guys, it's Santa
Spice
Claus.
has her gun aimed at it.
No, put your weapons down, guys. This is
So if you have your weapon aimed at this Senta drone,
Yeah.
the face slowly, because there is some like elements of rust and stuff, slowly like turns, and you hear, "Don't be on Senta's naughty list."
Spice will like raise her gun up and sheath it.
Bubs will like make the motion of like putting down your weapons.
no, we've all been
Alright.
really good boys and girls, and everything else we've all been really good, and we promise promise, Santa Claus, we're gonna be so good next year
It
too.
goes from like staring at Spice to, you've been a good boy. You must be Frederick. It like opens and reaches out the sack. Do you reach in?
Of course.
Roll a d6.
Come on, a BB gun. A 6.
With a 6,
You'll shoot
reach
your eye
in.
out, kid.
And you pull out a box that says Frederick. It's a square box wrapped in this beautiful matte blue paper. Although as you touch it, the paper begins to kind of crumble away. But within, there is and you do see that briefly, Frederick just crumbles. But this is a Persian silk tree grow your own bonsai kit. As you look at the cover of this box, in big splotchy letters, it says, the Persian silk tree seed is known to stay dormant for up to 300 years.
I'm gonna do that thing where you get your gift and then you show it to everyone after you looked at it yourself.
Wow.
And then he's gonna do the pointing thing with the echo.
Oh, Merry Driftmas! And you can see this robot begins to just kind of turn all the way, almost like a sprinkler, and then it's like holding out the sack and just waiting for somebody else to reach in.
Spice is going to reach out her arm very carefully to see if the robot's going to attack, but seeing that it didn't attack Bubbles, she's going to reach her hand in.
Roll a d6.
Come on, Santa Claus, be good to him, Spice! 5!
A 5.
Yeah?
The thing that you pull out is at first it's in a gift bag, but the gift bag crumbles away, ancient as it is.
Ooh.
And you can see for a brief period of time, and this kind of marks its age, there was a time where people thought that there should be a blend of tablets and books, which is a ultra-thin tablet that pages could turn and you would store a certain number of pages on each. This seems to be one of those. It was a cookbook. It has a picture of a naked man on it, and
Excuse me?
he is holding a rotisserie chicken covering his unmentionables, and it's titled Hot Cocks, the Home Cook's Guide to Extremely Satisfying Chicken.
Oh my god, Spice does not show anybody, and she just puts it out. I got something good! I got this! She pats Santa Claus on the head and goes, you know me, Santa! Without even knowing me. Thank you.
It kind of pulls over and just kind of begins to do the rotation again.
Spice is blushing, her whole face is
Just
red.
kind of staring at it, unsure what to do.
Echo steps forward and it's hello, Santa Claus. Do you have anything in there for me?
It turns to you and just goes, Merry Driftmas, employee unknown! And it opens the bag.
Apparently, I am not a good boy.
Not Frederick.
You're good.
Only Frederick is the good boy.
I also got a 6.
That's okay. That's okay. It just cycles down to the next available one. You reach in and your hands close around something incredibly soft.
You got
And
a
as you pull
pillow.
this away, it is a sleeping bag. And it's a weird texture, or not texture, but just appearance. It looks almost like sand, but as you look at it and pull it out more, it's like a wrap of some sort. And as you unzip it, you recognize this is a tortilla sleeping bag, and the interior liner looks like rice. There is a sewn-in pillow shaped like beef, another one like lettuce, and a third as tomato.
Is
That's
it
awesome.
a weighted burrito sleeping bag?
It certainly is.
Oh my god!
Wow. That's cute.
Merry Christmas! And now it just to shade.
Bub is gonna turn to Shade.
I know maybe you have these feelings because you've never experienced a gift before.
Roll
Shade.
roll a d4. There's only 2 things left.
A D4.
Yeah.
And as he reaches in, Bubs is going to give Shade his gift.
2.
With a 2, you reach in and you feel
I
this.
got a rock.
No, there's no wrong. In my mind, one of these made sense for each of you, kind of. But also, I googled best gifts under $30 and then went with the first 5 things I saw and just tailored them
Sick.
slightly to each of you.
Nice.
You did not all draw the ones intended for you.
I feel like the burrito one was for Gibbs.
Well, who the fuck was the
Sleeping in food?
cookbook
Who would
for
do
if
that?
it
I
wasn't
think
for
the
me?
cookbook was for you.
Primarily, yeah. It seemed like it was a funny thing.
And it
Anyhow.
fits with your
Yeah, with the
Polaroids.
gift. Yeah, that was perfect.
You pull out a long package. This is probably about this long, and it looks similar to the blue ones that you see. And at first, you're like, "Oh, is it maybe just like an empty box like all the rest?" But as you open it up, within there are 3 things held onto a long, beautiful, now kind of petrified wooden stand. In the middle, a large globe of glass that is shaped like a planet. You can see other continents, maybe not familiar to you. And then on either side, a spherical glass that seems to be shaped like a moon. This is a decanter for whiskey, and then 2 very nice glasses seated on a wooden stand.
Wow.
It seems to be a planet, and it's 2 moons, although you could not recognize this planet. And that is what you find. Senta closes the bag, kind of pulls it over his back.
We have one more, Senta.
Senta turns to you. Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
Oh, good thing you said something I knew was gonna.
Wait.
Wait,
need another
Senta.
gift.
So Spice is gonna squat down and try to change her voice a little bit. You said diplomacy, right? Oh, I got this. It's gonna be a 25.
You must be Bigums. Take your gift. And just reaches out the hand.
Bigums! She
You
raises
reach
her
your
hand.
up it over, and you pull out the final thing. This is almost like a semicircle. It's shaped almost like a toilet seat, but thicker, rounder, and it has a substantial fabric to it. Strange lumpiness, though. But as you look at it, you realize there's an element of heating coils. This is a heated shiatsu neck massager. Really kind of designed to be put into most standard captain's chairs to really warm up and provide comfort on long star voyages.
That would have been nice.
Spice looks at Shade and just wraps it around her neck.
You turn on, you can hear this faint as it
And
starts
then
to like
she like
massage.
the eyes like roll back into her head.
Staring back, I just pour whiskey into the bottle.
Oh, and then she like
I don't
looks at
actually
you.
have whiskey.
Well, Spice loves. That's her whole fucking thing.
That's why, yeah. I'm just holding this box
With the
of like a
bag
nice
closed,
whiskey
Senta
set.
turns
Just
and
like,
looks at each of you, and then says, "Has anyone retrieved all 3 coins?
Oh, me.
Please present the coins now." And the mouth, like almost horrifying. at first, but it's like
It's like the
like
lower
a cash
jaw.
register just comes out, and it's just
Humans can't do that,
Is
can
it
they?
like the laundry coin?
Yes, very
Yeah.
much like that. Yes, you pull it out. There's like 1 slot for each of these coins.
Bub's having seen Shade take the gift from Santa Claus, but not sure if he's just taking the gift to go through the motions or if he actually believes in Driftmas. He's gonna hold on to his gift and wait for a moment to
Okay.
give it to him. And he's gonna go up to Santa Claus and he's gonna place each one left, right, and then middle last.
No problem. You place the left one, the right one, and then the middle. And as the mouth comes in, you can hear this little ching, 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 and you hear the coin roll down almost like an old-fashioned coin machine, and then there's the ching, 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 and it rattles around the mechanical stomach before coming to a stop. You hear, "Ho, ho, ho! You've been a good boy this year! Congratulations!" And you can see this time the eyes roll back, and there's like this mechanical grinding, and then and then
Spice
the
is,
mouth
like,
opens again.
leaning
and
back
there
in
is
horror.
This, it's like old automobile keys to the starship. You can see Maxi Tech, I think it's Galaxy Viewer, whatever it was.
it was Stargazer shuttle.
Yeah, this is a Maxim Tech Stargazer Shuttle 95. And you can see there's like a little mechanical core that you probably slot in nearby. And you would imagine that you now have access to that shuttle in the mechanics bay.
Bubs is gonna look at the keychain and then he's gonna look at Shade.
Looking at the whiskey
Yeah,
set.
he's gonna go up to Shade and I imagine Shade's gonna look up.
Shade is very focused on
Yeah.
this whiskey set, just like,
Shade,
what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
I'll make you a drink.
Drink it?
I
And yeah, I'm gonna drink from it, but like,
I wanted to give you this gift, and I'm gonna not give you the keys. I'm gonna give you the homemade gift. So what it is it's a pen wrapped with cloth, and it's decorated to look like a person, and there's a spring going from the pen body with the cloth around it to like a little stand,
Okay.
and
it's like a little bobblehead.
kinda, it's actually decorated to look like a Hawaiian hula girl.
Nice.
Oh,
Amazing.
that's cute.
And he's gonna give it to Shade, and he's gonna say,
Shade, this is for you. I thought maybe you could put it on, the dash of your new ship.
And he's gonna give you the keys for the ship. And he's gonna just jump up and give you the biggest hug.
Oh, Merry Driftmas, Shade. I know, you have, a hard time, giving these emotions, but you mean so much to me, and I just want you to have the same cheer on your face that I see when I look around this group as everyone else.
Thank you, Bubs. I appreciate this. The shuttle will be useful for all of us.
And you can put the little hula on the ship, and then she'll dance as there's turbulence on the ship, and she plays in your mind a little song, and I think it's kind of neat.
Okay.
That was cute as fuck. I like
The
that
scented
moment.
drone swings this empty sack over their shoulders and just goes, "Merry Driftmas to all, and to all a good night. And remember, rent Santa drones." And it turns and begins to presses the button.
Merry Driftmas, Santa Claus.
The airlock opens and Santa steps out into the night. The airlock shuts and goes through the whole process, but Santa leaves.
Does the Stargazer shuttle have storage space on it to put the drone in?
It certainly does, you would imagine.
So we can
you
load
haven't
it into that.
physically
and then-
seen the drone yet, so you have no idea. But
Would it-
assuming that it's roughly a medium-sized humanoid, yes.
Would it fit some of the engineering gear to make the
Yeah,
transport?
I'm trying to
faster?
figure out, can we load up the shuttle to then drive over to, float over to the ship
Yeah,
more
you imagine
easily?
You can. So as you look up, you can see there's an aperturing kind of thing. And similar to the way, and you've noticed, the doors all have to open and shut between every section of the ship. This whole room can probably vent, so this ship can exit, or new ships can enter.
Wow.
Okay.
So, yeah, absolutely you could do that.
We should load up the shuttle and get the drone now.
Spice pushes away the 4 dollies that she collected. Yeah, let's just load up the ship.
I would request that you use it for the engineering equipment. That
That's
would be
fine, but I want to
beneficial.
take a box.
As long as we get the engineering equipment, I don't care.
We should also take this reindeer. I want a couple new pets because my heart longs for the squeak.
I miss Squeak.
Shade just kind of looks down.
Spice never took care of Squeak at all.
Neither Bubs. His dog.
Shade
I
is
long for
broken
Squeak
inside.
more than I long for anything in this life. But I will find a valiant replacement, and it's 4 foxes and a reindeer.
Gotta get everything.
And also if that Yeti thing is friendly.
I can't read its thoughts, but something tells me it's too big to handle.
So, you do have a single button to thaw both. What order are you loading things in, and how are you dealing with the frozen pets? And how, in fact, are you dealing with the frozen drone?
Shall we calibrate so that we might press the buttons at the exact same time?
Yes.
Should we, strap down the ice, or, stun? I can cast daze, but only for a round.
Echo and I will focus on getting the drone. You can focus on the animals.
All right, Bubby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I'm super great with animals.
Are we?
Please
Put on his plastic gloves.
Remember to get some of the engineering equipment as well. Will help once we're done with the drone.
Okay, so I'll put the engineering shit in if you can get the reindeer in.
We'll get it all in. It doesn't matter. Let's just get it all in.
I am not going to put the engineering shit in unless you say you're gonna put the reindeer in.
You got to say it.
For what it's worth, too, the only place that the reindeer is going to fit is the cockpit. So the reindeer will have to go in a trip with 1 or 2 of you as a separate trip, which is it only adds maybe 5-10 minutes onto the whole thing. But for what it's worth, that is something that you'll have to consider. The
Yeah.
reindeer, you're not going to be able to cram
Bubs
into
is
the
gonna
we're gonna
turn
have
to
to make a
Shade
second trip.
and say,
Yeah, you have to agree with her. You can't say no to her.
It's going to take a second trip.
I will be able to ferry smaller pieces of equipment if it means making room for more necessary items.
I think the difference would be negligible. We'll still have to make 2 trips. But If it makes it go any faster, I'll agree to this. It doesn't matter. It's just a deer.
Well, here's my thought. So maybe you guys take the ship and maybe we take the dollies. That's 2 trips?
Given that we don't need to breathe, it would make more sense for us to utilize the dollies.
I'll take the ship.
All right, we can go, Spice.
You can enjoy your close quarters with your new animal pets.
But
Okay. All the 4 foxes and reindeer.
Shall we proceed?
Let's proceed.
All right.
Deal. She like
Do I
shakes
need
your
to
hands unwillingly.
activate the ship now?
You have like what is the core and the key, so whoever puts that in will activate the ship for the first time.
You have it. I gave it to you.
Whenever you want to
It's your
activate
Christmas
it, you can
gift.
activate it.
I guess I'll go activate it so that they can fly it out.
Do you put your little?
Yeah, I'll put it there.
So as
can
you
put your
turn it
little
on,
finger
yeah, I'll
and
put it there and
activate
I'll
it,
give
you
a
do
little
see
flick for you if you're standing there.
the screen that pops open has "Congratulations on finding all the icons of Driftmas. Set a new name and password now." And then you see just an entry field, and you can figure that out when you want.
Okay.
But
So if I go to fly it, I can just like bypass it just to fly it
Skip.
for a little bit.
Sign in as guest.
exactly, you can remind me in 3
Yes,
days.
Yeah, okay.
No problem.
I'm not gonna try to steal his
Guests can
Christmas
only fly so
present.
far, and then it shuts
So for
down.
what it's worth, anybody
real
that does
rich.
come across the shuttle will see the shuttle's name as "Congratulations on finding all the icons of Driftmas."
Yeah, right. It's like a whole paragraph.
Yeah, which is great.
Nice.
But no problem. You start the ship.
And then I promptly get out to go get the drone with Echo.
I imagine we're going to the foxes.
Yes, we're gonna go to the boxes, but we have to melt both.
Can we melt them with the button?
Well, we're
This
gonna
one
melt
will
both.
work, but it's gonna melt both, so you should do it when we're all together.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
If you're going to use the buttons, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could try to like chip away at it or something. Do something else with
Yeah,
it.
I have a magna hammer, and there's also gasoline here, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't want to blow it up because that'll probably.
No, I
kill
have an
the-
idea.
Fires in space are great, and I think they never go bad then.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever
it's,
concerned
It's
about
like
fires.
exploding beans on a wooden ship.
Yeah,
I love
except arguably way worse.
that. I love that.
You don't fall into water, you fall into nothing.
Hey, there's no one to hear you scream out there. No one's ever said that before.
No, I imagine I'll go with Spice and I'll just chip away with it with the hammer.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so I'm also gonna take out my hammer and chip then. Because we have matching fucking hammers because
Both
we're
of
in
you.
love.
His
Go ahead and give
hammers,
me
hammers.
dexterity checks. Flat dexterity checks.
Okay. 16.
Okay.
That is a 9
Spice knows how to wield a hammer better than
13.
Bubbles.
Okay.
Oh, just kidding.
So both of you wielding hammers roughly proportionally. You spend a little bit of time chipping away. And Bubs, there's times where you think about using the magma feature, but as you look down at these cute little fuzzy creatures, the potential for poor things to happen keeps you from doing that. Over some time, you crack away at the ice. And what you can do, if you wish to, is you can remove a core with those checks of up to 2 of these foxes.
Well, I don't think we only need 1, but I'll take 2. Do you want to get 2 to make sure if like
A
one's
spare.
dead, then maybe we can keep 2? Let's bring 2.
Oh, okay.
Yes, more things for
so
Shade to
if
take
they're
care of.
going to, if we chipped them free, I am going to, and they're semi-conscious.
They're not conscious. They're still very much frozen.
Okay.
You imagine Gibbs will know how to de-thaw to thaw
Okay.
these.
So they're not gonna thaw right in front of us.
No.
They're gonna stay frozen for a little
Yes. And
bit.
in fact, one of the big things about cryogenics, you need to be very mindful. The problem is not freezing
Gotta be
stuff.
careful.
The problem is thawing it. When you
Okay.
thaw things, they tend to explode. So, not really explode, but like biologically explode. It's pretty gross. So, you want to make sure that it's supervised. Yes.
Okay, so we've got 2. I feel good about 2. I don't think we need 4. If one of them doesn't make it, then we've got a backup one.
Yeah, looking at it, I mean, these are like snow white Arctic foxes.
They're so cute.
You get the one that's like pouncing and the other one that's on its back, like ready to wrestle with it. And those are the 2. You remove
She like
almost like a little
scratches
core.
his belly.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh,
There's like 3 inches of ice between, but yeah, no problem.
what are you gonna name yours? Spice.
Vulpix.
Oh, that's such a beautiful name.
Not a sponsor.
Um,
So, as you 2 are doing that, The androids. What are you doing?
3, 2, 1. Bing.
You press the button and the door goes up. You can see within there is a reindeer, frozen solid. The nose protrudes just a little bit from the ice, and you can see it looks terrified. Behind it now, with the door open and the emergency lighting kind of filtering in behind you, you can see clearly this drone. Very odd looking. I didn't get to finish painting it, but the actual exterior of it is like this snow white matte paint that's been kind of painted over the chrome. It has a single eye that is actually very similar to yours. Similar kind of color to the glass. And then behind that, you can see a mechanism that seems to control the actual ice itself. You can see a number of like little bits of glitter and other things like that. And behind all of that, there is a crate slightly askew. You can see it reads 16 ham dinners. Currently frozen in the very back there. Also frozen in, and I will say, as a Driftmas miracle, and because we started a little bit late, this section of the ice seems slightly separate, as if it will not thaw. There is a much larger version of that creature that you can see in the ice cube there. The creature that you can see.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Are we
As
supposed
a
to fight
Driftmas
the
miracle?
Yetis?
It's a Driftmas miracle.
It's
We
an
don't
abominable
die.
snowman! Oh my god! Look at this fucking freak!
We just have to teach it the true
Why is
meaning
this
of
on the
Driftmas.
station?
That's what I was wondering.
So as the light
What is going on at this
you
fucking...
suddenly see this huge
like-
people, roughly the size of your face, kind of gazing in from this. This is a massive creature. The hand, roughly the size of your entire torso. And it's just kind of bent down. And now that you look at the terrified face of the reindeer, it makes more sense.
Does their eye track the same way the other creatures did?
The other creature's eye didn't track. When it was frozen, it was probably looking at the person operating the controls.
So it wasn't tracking.
So when you stand at the controls, it feels like it's looking just at you. And as you stand at the doorway here, it certainly seems to be looking at you. It's
just like-
it's frozen, like reaching for the deer. Yeah.
She just like looks over at Echo, doesn't say anything, but like, what the fuck is this kind of shit doing in a fucking gas station? Right? Like,
Make a perception.
I was gonna say, can I also
What
try
kind
to
of
Yeah,
fucked up
perception
Christmas party is this?
like, yeah, why is there a fucking
Just sit there wanting
Yeti?
everyone
Make a
to
perception
die.
check and then make a sense motive check.
Right, 19 for the
Okay.
perception
22.
and a sense motive.
I don't want these.
Oh
Nice.
Nice.
I love to see it.
I got like a 11.
With the perception checks that you both made, both of you recognize that there is something dangling from the pinky of this creature. It looks like a tag of some kind.
Oh fuck! Is that a talisman?
And you also recognize Echo with that sense motive check. The director sent you here, looking for a drone that could print out parts that were found nowhere else. Very similar to your ship. Thinking back on this cryogenics laboratory, many of the parts there also very unique. There is certainly an attachment to this and perhaps the mosaic that the director spoke of.
Huh.
Hard to tell, but with that natural 20, you would imagine, now kind of putting this together, there are times, and actually, the Echo outfit, very similar to this, there are times where other companies will take space in another company's station, in their building, people rent floors, entire offices,
Convert robots to centas.
things like that. And it could be that a research group had rented out half of the space station to do work on what seemed to be very arctically themed things. And these are creatures, as you look at this reindeer, it's unlike any of the other reindeer that you've seen on other planets. This one's smaller, the antlers are wider, it looks more, for lack of a better word, it looks less engineered. And you're guessing that these are all probably from the same planet. This is almost like a preservation area. And as you look at this massive, abominable creature, you wonder whether this was something that is truly natural, or whether this was an attempt to create something from myth and folklore. And then you think about the fact that this, outside of this door, there was a number.
021.
021. There may be more mythical creatures out there in similar laboratories. But who knows? Good question to ask.
Do we have something on the ship that could contain a creature of this size?
Yo, just a reindeer, bruh.
I would really like to take this one with. It is cute and fuzzy.
Do we have enough cryogenics
I don't believe
stuff
that would
to keep it
fit within
frozen?
the-
No, I don't want to fight this on the fucking ship.
Echo looks at
It's hard to
the.
tell because it's bent over, but it could be upwards of like 12 to 13 feet tall. It's huge.
That's not gonna fit in this tiny ship that you guys are
Echo
driving back.
Echo looks at the thing on its pinky and kind of like reaches up to begin to take it.
Okay. If you want, I would say you can get real close and even just kind of read it. Give me 1 second here.
You guys were over here, right?
With the
Are we,
boxes.
did we go over? I mean,
Yeah, you guys are at the.
Well,
the foxes,
no, we're at the
right?
fox thing, and I would say we're loading up
okay.
the
The
ship
foxes
with
and the-
engineering-based stuff. We're loading it up with Fox's stuff.
Yeah, so like
You can
these
see
crates of engineering
Sample
shit.
021A, Abominable Yeti. And you can see on that, very similar to the way the director said it. Mosaic. Period between each letter. An acronym.
Echo would try to take the tag off.
You slide it right off the
Good
first
luck returning it now.
And then
Suddenly it's worth half as much.
Bust through the fucking roof. Freeze! You took off the tag.
and then
Security is like,
start helping to load the ham dinners onto the ship as well, because Echo knows that Gibbs would probably appreciate a bunch of ham dinners.
We're gonna do those
hamburgers.
for the second
And
trip.
then they're gonna go back to the cryogenics lab and do a little bit more digging in some of the drawers there.
Okay.
Shade's gonna try to see how we can get this drone up and running for the ship.
Looking at the drone, it's cryogenically frozen. Computers don't have the same problem, or mechanics don't have the same problem that biological organisms have in defrosting. Thawing this thing out and booting it up will probably be what you need to do.
Yeah. But you had said, is it this is like a thing to control the ice?
It seems to be, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would try to check that out to see how to safely defrost, because I don't think we can get the deer without unfreezing the other thing.
So interestingly, and this is more a function of us losing a little bit of time
Oh,
up front,
this was the okay. Yeah.
because it's a Driftmas miracle. This controller, the intent of this was that you would have to fight this Yeti. However, as the ice has fractured over the course of the years, when you thaw this out, it won't only thaw about half the room. It is the half that possesses the doorway, the reindeer, the drone. It does not possess the Yeti.
it's a Driftmas
like-
miracle!
This miracle.
Because the drone is technically right in the center in that
Yeah.
like, circle of metal.
Oh, like
Yeah, it's like a charging dock, literally. So
Cool.
that everything in that middle strip kind of unfreezes. The Yeti completely frozen over still.
okay.
You get that little name tag off of it. And if you want, you can cart those things out. Now, if you're going to thaw it out, this is
There's
a
gonna be a
live
fucking
reindeer,
deer. Yeah.
and it looks panicked.
Yeah.
I have an idea for panicked animals.
Mhm.
It's gonna take, I think, both me and Gibbs, but I have a thought for when they arrive on the ship in, a foreign land, and when they come to consciousness, I have an idea.
For the foxes?
For all the, all the,
The reindeer
conscious
is of
beings that we
greatest
take
So
concern.
you're
and we
basically
relieve
just gonna
from
try to
cryo.
become Snow White.
Yeah.
So the
Like-
two of you load your two foxes into the ship, and if you want, you can kind of join your android companions doing the actual mission. Space
Classic
station.
Fox and Spice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
yeah.
Oh, and I'm gonna name mine Snuggles.
as we walk back towards the group, I mentioned.
I'm gonna also pop a couple empty boxes onto our ship.
Yeah, no problem. And what I'll say is, if any of the boxes that you take away, we'll add onto the ship. So, yeah, some of this stuff will be moved over to your ship.
Hell yeah. If a Christmas tree fits, I want a whole ass Christmas tree.
We can make
You're
a
adding
second
another
trip.
trip, but you absolutely.
Well,
can
we're
do
already
a
making
Christmas
2
trip if you
trips,
want.
right?
Yeah.
We're already
This is
making
just
2
third.
trips.
So
Shade has kind of resigned himself at this point to like we're looting the station, but no problem.
It's a Driftmas lootmas.
So if you want,
Pirates.
you can thaw out this creature. However, will thaw out a reindeer, and you imagine it's going to go bolting down the halls.
Well, isn't it like the foxes that we're just gonna load it onto the ship?
No,
and
because
then-
you guys broke that out of ice. You could break this
Oh.
deer out of ice if you want.
like cut it out and
So-
thaw it.
Shade still has the breaching charge.
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
I mean, the breaching charge is designed to destroy a shaped area and not like kill the people around it. That's almost perfect for what you need to do. If it goes poorly, you're blowing up a reindeer.
Also,
Yeah.
oxygen candle.
And I'm gonna dump your engineering shit off of my dolly.
Yeah. I'm not
if
gonna do
you're
it.
Gonna do that.
The deer
a
is
fight
going
that
on.
breaks Christmas.
Okay.
up. This is the moment
This
where
is
someone
like
slams
Christmas
the door.
deal.
I'm never coming back next year.
Yeah.
Reindeer got blown up by Shade.
Oh no.
Anyhow,
Walking home from Driftmas.
No, the deer is gonna be the last thing. But I think seeing that we have to defrost the deer to defrost the drone, Shade would go and like help load up the first round of stuff.
okay.
And be like, we have to deal with this first.
So you're taking everything and then coming back once everything that you want is gone to deal with this.
To get the fucking to get the drone, see what happens with the deer when everything else is cleared away so that it's not gonna like bolt down the hall and
So to
destroy
your
everything.
inventory, you can add a mechanic station,
Yes.
a Maxim Tech Stargazer shuttle.
I would also want to try to get the motorcycle if it's
Yeah.
if it's not complete to work on,
Yeah.
if it's complete to like to have a fucking
It's complete,
motorcycle.
and it will.
I want to work on it
Yeah,
though.
that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
It's complete in the sense that it will work.
Yeah, so I want to also take like any pieces that are kind of in
Sure.
that area to
No problem.
work on
You
it.
can take motorcycle project. That is what we call that.
Okay.
You can also add, if you wish, as many fake gifts as you would like. There are close to 200, so you can really kind of grab as many as you want. And then, if you really want to, you can take a Christmas tree.
Okay.
Absolutely, they are artificial.
Driftmas tree.
So
Driftmas tree.
For sure.
They will last.
The red one.
pretty much forever.
I'm gonna
Or
take the,
actually any color.
the pot underneath the Christmas tree to use for planting once we move from the beer cans to
Okay,
the
yeah,
bigger
yeah, yeah,
ones.
sure, no problem.
Is this part of the engineering mechanics thing?
That big sack of crates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I grab the Jacinto coffee maker to add to Gibbs's Roomba?
You absolutely can.
Roomba, make me some coffee.
You can add a Jacinto Brewbuster 2.
I feel like it would be wired to just like spray hot coffee out
You
of
use like
people.
unlicensed coffee. While Echo is like helping to load like the smaller crates onto the ship, they're like speeding back and forth in between the cryo lab and like loading stuff on the ship to be
Yeah.
like, I help. I'm checking the computers here. I help.
Again, there is no computer.
Okay, checking the drawers here.
And what specifically are you looking for?
Echo's looking for more
Echo's looking
information
for
on what
Echo's
Mosaic could have been doing here besides like genetic
Make a sense
experiments.
motive check.
Can I check the beds
Funny.
for love letters and Christmas wishes to Santa?
Big one.
Make a
Big one's been rolling well.
perception.
I
Dear
want to do that
Biggums.
with Spike's help.
Make a
I am so
perception check as well.
overwhelmed by my love for you,
Math.
Frederick.
29.
Okay. As you begin to look around and look for any more evidence of what they were doing, your eyes turn over to this computer that has been just hopelessly lost. And you would imagine, as that seems to be the similar kind of weird looking mechanics, whatever was probably what you were looking for was on that computer. The director knows what Mosaic stands for. The director has all these answers. You just are not cleared to know yet. You would imagine you probably won't find too much more poking around here. This is an almost empty space station.
Are there other gifts for people that we haven't found yet?
So you're gonna loot like these boxes around the Christmas tree and around the shit.
I believe that you have taken all of the gifts and looking for like love letters and things like that. Again, nobody actually got to move in here.
Okay. So
This
it's
was
just like
literally-
crispy beds.
They set everything up. The day that they launched was at the big Driftmas Eve party, and then they like came over and the whole station was gone. And there was this.
Because someone activated the drift
You
drive.
guys saw there was a note about the malfunctioning drift drive. It probably just kicked on overnight, and the whole station just left.
No notes.
That Santa Claus has probably been arriving every day at 10 o'clock, leaving every day at 10 o'clock. Those gifts have just been there for a long time.
Dusty.
Does Echo get the sense that now that Santa Claus has delivered the gifts, that Santa Claus
is free.
is done?
No.
In peace. Oh.
Santa Claus, I would say somebody had looked up information about the Santa
Yeah, that
previously.
I think
Everyone's shade.
So
and-
Santa,
not the Santa. That was the drone, right? The military drone.
Santa stands for Special Edition Natural Texture Automaton.
I had asked.
And so it is a very
During the break.
similar, very similar kind of like, it's a precursor to androids, and not even ever designed to be like an android. It really is designed to be a human.
A robot.
Yeah, it's a robot. And so like thinking about this, when you rent them, usually at the end of their contract period, they return to whatever their home base is. In the drift, you can't do that. And so as an heir, it would probably return to its previous course. And so at midnight, when it resets,
It goes outside and it just stands there and then is like
and so
awaiting
you
further
imagine
instruction.
When you leave, were you to use your scanners and really look? You could probably find Santa just sitting there out in
Can I
space.
place like a tracker on Santa?
He's
Just
gone, but you could have, yes.
Guys,
damn.
maybe
Santa,
Trying
I
to be
love you,
fucking
man.
NORAD over
Like,
here.
I trust you now that I know you're not gonna try to hurt me.
As we're like loading stuff, I imagine there's a moment where we're all together. I'm gonna just say,
maybe we could just leave them here in case someone else stumbles upon this place as well, and they could have a nice moment how we had one.
That means we have to leave gifts in the gift bag with Santa.
Also,
could-
there's an abominable Yeti that has been genetically engineered.
And now that you've thawed out the rest of the room, eventually that will thaw. And so the next person to come here, assuming it's not hundreds and hundreds of years later, will find.
Can I put
either.
like a mercy shot through the abominable Yeti so that the person who comes in next doesn't get killed by an abominable Yeti?
If you want to try to shoot through the ice, you certainly can.
If you get a natural one, then you're gonna explode the ice. You're gonna release it.
I know. It's
I
Can I-
believe
I'll
we are
just
the first ones to arrive here in
try to
some
like
time.
pressure seal the door or something, like lock the door behind us.
I would say if you want, you could unscrew the physical button and like remove that, and then kind of break away elements of the electronic housing. And
Yeah, I'm gonna try to basically sabotage the door after we've cleared it of the drone and the deer
Okay.
to be able to like make it so that it's not gonna like people aren't gonna be like, wow, Driftmas is so Getting
Slice is
fucking-
gonna also take out one of Gibbs's corgi sticky note butts,
Oh,
put it
no.
on the door, and be like,
danger
"Do
Yeti
not enter,
inside.
danger, abominable snowman," and slap it on the door.
It's just written right around the butthole. But yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Corgi butt post-it note. So you load all those things. You sabotage the door.
Bubs is gonna go to the
We
Santa
have to
Claus,
check out reindeer. Sorry.
and he's
Yeah.
going to, in front of everyone. I feel like at least he's gonna announce to everyone.
I'm gonna leave some presents for whoever comes here next.
And he's gonna take out of his inventory some Energel food pellets
Okay.
and probably some squeaky clean wipes as well,
Ooh, okay.
which
Wow.
he's almost out of. So it's a really big thing for Bubs to do.
Yeah, absolutely. No
I'm gonna say
problem.
he's down to 20 now.
Big gift.
You take these items out, and as you're kind of like loading the last few things on, you turn and you look, and there is this Christmas tree here in this mechanics bay. And for a moment, you almost forgot that you had just miserably failed your last assignment. You had lost the person that you had called father. And for a moment, you kind of turn and this was nice. Good distraction. But only a distraction. Before you all depart, is there anything further that you wish to do?
Is this a computer terminal that's active?
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
Not the time.
That's all. So we've gotten everything, including the deer now? Or do we have to still get the deer?
Yeah, you have the deer. The deer you cut away and then loaded as an ice cube, so no problem.
Okay.
You need Gibbs to thaw these animals out. And I will say, if you do not remember that, they're gonna explode as they. Like, when I say explode, what happens is the
Gibbs.
actual the living cells of the creature, as it
Defrost.
defrosts, it expands on the inside faster and it will
The
rupture the
animals.
cellular lining. So
Okay.
it's a real thing, real facts.
I'm putting it in big notes on my notes
First things first.
with lots of
Save the
asterisks.
animals. I'm gonna pop a lighter into Santa's bag. Spice is gonna, before Santa
Yeah.
goes away, she's gonna flick a lighter into the sack.
Bubs is gonna gesture to anyone
We
else.
have to
who
go
wants-
find it.
Santa's
Santa's not
gone.
here.
Oh, well then she's gonna not do that. She's gonna put a lighter in one of the presents under the tree. and just-
Yeah,
I
that's. I
feel like
imagine
Shade
Bubs would
got so
probably
many.
put.
You
so
kind of
many
clear
gifts,
elements
but-
of the presents aside, and you create an area that is just the presents that you were leaving.
Yeah.
And you try to do it in a way that, like, hopefully, maybe, Santa will see them and pick them up.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the drift.
And Bubs will gesture if anyone else wants to drop any gifts off.
Echo takes out the cigar and like cutter setup that they got from the.
From the cigar shop that we went to?
I think you got from
No.
Audra.
Oh, from.
I got it from Red.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
From
Oh,
Red.
the shave kit. I forgot I had that too. Maybe I'll pop that
and,
under the tree.
and Echo
Yeah.
puts that down.
No problem. So you put a nice little cigar kit right there. And you're going to put the shaving kit from
I'm
Dr.
gonna put the
Malfoy?
shaving
Yeah.
kit.
No problem. This little old leather bag you set down.
Yeah. Make sure.
I think Shade is going to put the video of Spice and Bub's date night.
So you place down this little disc, and for all of you, you look at this collection of items. And then Shade presses a button, and you see pop up this holograph.
No, I'm not playing it.
Oh, you're
I'm
not
just
playing
gonna.
it? Okay.
I'm putting it there as a gift for
problem.
whoever
Okay.
comes by.
But I
next.
feel like we would know what it is.
No, probably
Bub-
not.
Bubs has
It's
no
just
idea.
ideas.
Bubs
Okay.
actually
Now-
touches Shade's shoulders like you did a good thing.
And as you look at this, a video disc, a shaving kit that belonged to a stranger, a cigar cutter that belonged to a stranger. For most people, this would be a pretty sorry Christmas. And looking around at the assortment of all of you, and thinking about what you had just thought about, there is some symbolism there perhaps. But in this space, with the lights twinkling off the metal and the snow, fake though it may be, kind of gathered around these gifts, it doesn't really matter what they are. Ultimately, this was a place that meant something to you, will always mean something to you, and maybe 80 years from now, it'll mean something to somebody else as well. And because it is 8:30 or 9:30, this is where we're going to end for this evening. Merry Driftmas, everybody.
Merry
Merry
Driftmas to all.
I hope you all
and to
enjoyed
all
our little
good
Driftmas
night.
adventure. We will be back next week with session 37 of Mosaic Team 5. But if you can't wait until then, tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Driftmas Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Hera will be stepping into the DM seat for Adventures in Alberon's Sea of Ice. This is going to be session 3. Please join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Until then,
You're wearing a
please stay
stupid
safe.
ass mask.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus.
Merry Driftmas, everybody.
Merry Driftmas!